Guys, everybody stand up. Come forward. We're going to have our team picture now because a lot of times at the end, everybody's gone. We're going to have a team picture right now. Come forward. We got the camera set up already. Let's get everybody here. This is the start of what we call Project 1000. This is the start of what we call Project 1000 in Las Vegas. And this guy is going to lead us to the promised land. Meruz. The roof. Meruz is on fire. Come on, guys. I'm not hear that every day. Everybody set me on fire. Always. I'm on fire. All right, the ladies in the front. Ladies in the front. Ladies in the back. Okay, squeeze in. Come on in, man. Come on in. Everybody's on fire. And then
over the horizon. Over the horizon.
Marcos, venga a decirle aquí a Roberto qué es lo que hacía antes.
all righty. Who's excited?
Yes.
Woo! One person is excited. Let me say that again. I think the food is settling in. Let me say that again. If I don't get the response I want, I'm going to jump on this table and say it again. Who's excited? Yeah! Right. Service Nation, we are so fired up to be here. My name is Kyle Salon. If you thought my overview was somewhat okay, this person I'm about to bring up to the front of the room, he's going to rock the crowd. This individual by the name of Mr. Marlon McKinney, his background in business, in leadership, 20 years of personal credit, business credit, access to funding. He usually speaks in front of thousands and thousands of people around the nation, preaching and teaching about financial freedom, wealth principles, and how our business goes hand in hand with developing good credit. Like I said before, there's a new king in town, and it's not Cash. I'll let him share who the new king of the nation is, okay? With that being said, this individual, he is the real deal, like I said, Evander Holyfield. He has fun, he gets it done, he's a family man. Yeah, he has some great daughters, and he's just an individual that's inspiring to me, and I hope he can share incredible nuggets and value for you. With that being said, guys, put your hands together. Mr. Marlon McKinney, rock star.
All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How's everybody doing today? Yeah. How many of you guys are excited you actually woke up today? Say hi. Hi. Awesome. You know, I always say every time I wake up in the morning, I say thank God for another day, because how many people thought they were going to wake up today and didn't? Heart attack, aneurysm, stroke, right? And we're hopeful that our CEO, Eric Antonio, blood pressure is going to go down, that he's here today. But it's so important to have your health. Would you not agree? Yes. What I'm going to share with you today, I want you to remember 4 things you got to study every day. Okay, I'm going to say it over and over again. 4 things you need to study every single day. 1 is God. Because without God, everything's impossible with God. Would you agree? Yes. Everything. 2, you got to study your health. Definitely. What good is health if you have all the money if you don't have any health? Does that make sense? We want to be with a lot of energy, a lot of positivity, right? So you got to study health, how it works, right? The other thing you want to study is, what do you think the third thing is? Money. You got to understand how money works. Did Kyle Salon do a great job today? Yeah. Anybody want to put your money in a place where you're guaranteed to not lose and possibly pay no taxes? Come on, I say tax or no tax, right? So you got to understand how money works, because money never sleeps. It's working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, if you allow it to be your master. Does that make, not your master, you want it to be your servant. Are you with me? You need to study money is your third thing. The 4th thing you need to study is credit. Credit. How many of you guys understand that? Personal credit, business credit, you got to have it. Did you know that 8 out of 10 people have bad credit? Yes. Did you know that 50% of employers are looking at your credit in order to hire you or not? Yep. Did you know that insurance companies are looking at your credit beyond the background check to see if you're worthy to work with their company and be appointed? Is that not right, Larry? Yes, sir. Does that make sense? You better have good credit if you want to be appointed with a great product like Columbus Life, right? Did you know that even if you go on dating sites, I'm teaching women this and men as well, 50%, if not more, they're starting to look at your credit on the dating site, because the woman's looking and saying, I want to know how his credit is, his finances, because guess what? If he can take care of his credit and finances, he most likely can take care of me. And don't you women want that security? Yeah. You want that security, don't you? So if a guy's name has great credit and got money, you feel that much more secure. True or not true? Say aye. Right? You see that? True or not true? Say aye. Why is it all women? So with that, let me give you a background about myself. I get excited every time I get to speak in front of people. By the way, as I speak today, it's not Marlon McKinney, because if it's Marlon McKinney, he's egotistic, he's going to mess it up, he's going to stutter. So I always say, God, think through my mind, speak through my vocal cords, none of me and all of you. I'm just a messenger relaying a message. Does that make sense to you guys? So I'm just going to relay a message, okay? But I get excited because I love people. How many of you guys love people? Right? There's 3 things it says in the Bible: faith, hope, and love. Out of all those 3, which one is the most important? Love. You gotta love one another. We were talking to Santa Clara just a few minutes ago about, isn't it exciting to come to a meeting on a Saturday? You get to meet new people. You get to have food. You got your egg rolls. You got your pancit. You get to learn about finance and credit. Good looking man, Kyle Salon here speaking. Loida doing a great job at MC. Isn't it exciting to get to know new people? I mean, you decided to be here today. Why not be excited? You're going to be here regardless. You had anywhere you could have been today, true or not true. And you chose to be here at Mayruz's nice, beautiful office here, right? Yeah. So let's get excited. Let's participate. How many of you guys know that those that participate will get more out of the training than if you don't participate? Say aye. Yeah. Aye. All right? So let me see if you guys are good at that. This is how I know who I'll work with and who I won't work with, right? This is how I know who's coachable, who's not coachable. Put your right hand up. You guys are confused. Put your left hand up. Put both hands up if you're not sure, right? See, you always get maybe 1 or 2 people that don't, but here's the thing, participate. Why is it so hard to participate? Think about it. If you're speaking to somebody, if you're doing teaching, training, don't you want the crowd to be involved? Yes. Is it not true, Larry, when you speak, you get more energy when people are involved with you? Yes. You get that much more confidence. You feed off that. Same thing, right, Kyle? That's so right. Be good at participating, right? You got to treat people how you want to be treated, right? So if you're in front of the room, do you want people to pay attention to you? Yes. You want people to be loud, ooh, that's awesome, right? So you need to become that same person, right, when somebody else is speaking, okay? Because I'm going to give you a lot today. You guys ready for a lot? Yeah. I believe you got to give to get. Does that make sense? You got to be first to give. If you guys want to basically take a withdrawal out of the bank, what's the first thing you need to do? Make a deposit. Does that make sense? If you guys want to win the lotto, what's the first thing you need to do? Buy the ticket. You guys here in Vegas, I'm not condoning it, but if you wanted to win the jackpot, don't you got to put the quarter in the machine before anything comes out? Do you guys understand that you got to give before you give? You got to be a good giver, and you got to be a good receiver. So I need some help. Do I got the Loydon and Kyle Salons in the house? I want to give some stuff out today, but when I give this to you today, don't start looking at this moment. That makes sense? Just put it aside, okay? And everything I'm going to speak today, and this goes for all the rest of the speakers. Scientists say we only retain 7 to 10% of what we hear on a first-time basis, so most of the stuff you're going to forget. Maybe the only thing you're going to remember is when Kyle came up here, good-looking Kyle Salon said, some people are going to make this year. Some people are going to make this month. Some people are going to make this every week. Maybe that's the only thing you're going to remember. Does that make sense? But the cool thing is I'm going to give you some stuff where you don't have to remember. I'm going to give you my book called Business Credit Decoded. Everything I'm going to talk about today in personal credit, business credit, access to funding, the importance of it, you're going to have it's going to be in a book. So don't be like, oh yeah, this is too much. It's okay. You're going to have a book to go over it. I'm going to give you a DVD today. I talk about the business credit, the corporate credit, the access to funding, and the seminar similar to this, right? Guess what? You can watch and pause and keep going all day long. I just want you to get the gist of what I'm going to talk about today, which in essence is to have good personal credit and business credit. Make sense? Okay? So how many of you guys ready to receive some gifts today? Say aye. Aye. Oh, that's it. How many of you guys ready to receive some gifts today? Say aye. There we go. Do you guys understand if you do it right the first time, you don't have to exploit so much energy? Right? You got to do it twice and 3 times. Just prep yourself up to do it right the first time. Yeah! How many of you guys want to make some money today? Yeah! How many of you guys want access to money? Yeah! You need to be like that. I'm excited. Woo! I got to wake up. I feel good. By the way, I used to be 275 pounds. Woo! Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was pregnant. I mean, hey, we're adults here, right? It was so bad. I was so pregnant, I couldn't even see my genitals. True story. Right? It's a true story. And I was huffing and puffing. But because I choose to study with God, I choose to study health and fasting and intermittent fasting and eating the right foods, I dropped over 50 pounds. Right? Now, I'm not saying that to impress you. Well, maybe a little bit. No. But to impress upon you, I got to have my health. It gives me more energy. It gets me more excited. I can pour out more to you guys. But if I'm not healthy, that's not going to be possible. That's why I say, study God. Without Him, nothing's possible. Right? We can't do anything. We need God. You need to study your health, right? What comes in is what goes out. Be careful what you put in your body. Oh, you don't believe what you eat is what you are? You guys ever ate corn before?
Yeah.
You ever? Yeah? How does it come out, Joanne? How does it stay whole? I thought I chewed the whole thing. Just a good visual that once you go in, it comes out. Does that make sense? So be careful what you put in your body. You got to study money. You're going to hear me a lot repeat this. Say you got money, got to work for you. How many of you guys ever heard of a gentleman named Grant Cardone? Yeah. Right? Worth about $450 million in real estate. He says, I don't own a home. I rent a home because, like Kyle said, a home is a what? Liability. It takes money out of your pocket. You got to pay mortgage or property taxes. The swimming pool guy, right? You got to pay the gardener. It takes money out of your pocket. So he says where you live, rent, right? But what you rent out to other people is what you own because that brings money in your pocket. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, Mayruz, right? So you want to get good at this stuff, and he always talks about OPM, other people's money. You know Grant Cardone, as much as he's worth these other people's money, he gets everybody your guys' money, they put you in, and they get a lot of real estate properties, pay you a percentage. They're using your money to make money. Yeah. Same thing with the banks. The banks say, please put your money with us, right? They're going to give you a bottle of water, true or not true, Wells Fargo. You're a shark, give you a lollipop. Kyle used to work at the bank, right? They're going to give you that, and the reason why they're going to give you that because they want you to deposit your $50,000 in their bank, your $100,000, your millions, whatever you guys have. Why? Because they're going to take this Norris and Loida in Santa Clara. They're going to take this, they're going to go make money with it. They're going to do a mortgage loan. They're going to do a credit card loan. They're going to do a car loan, and they're going to charge 18, 22%. And like Kyle said, you don't even get 1% in the bank. Maybe even 0.5%. If not, you get nothing. Why would you put your money somewhere where you get nothing? But some of you guys do it all day long. How? Oh, direct deposit in your bank account. You go walk your check to the bank. Yeah, but I got to get my money cashed out. Well, it doesn't mean you have to leave it in. Get it in. As fast as you get in, get it out. I have a mentor of mine. He's the trainer of all trainers. Some of you guys heard of Les Brown, Anthony Robbins. He trains those guys, right? He trains the trainers. He said in front of 500 people, keep the least amount of money in the bank. But it's FDIC, Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, up to $250,000. Watch what happens if the bank burns down or if it gets robbed. See how long it takes to get your money back. You remember these other countries when the banks closed down? They couldn't get their money out. Why don't you become the bank? I'm going to teach you how to become the bank today. It's better, your money is better in a fireproof safe at your home than it is with the banks. Did you guys know if everybody took their money out of the banks today, they'd go bankrupt? Think about it. They need our money to make money with. And isn't Wells Fargo, Chase Bank, Mr. Citibank, Mr. Bank of America, aren't they like, their companies are worth billions, true or not true? So why do they need our money? Let me say it one more time. They got billions of dollars, trillions of dollars. Why do they need our money?
Leverage.
Leverage, you got it. So what's the message I'm trying to teach you guys today? We don't have as much money as they do. Why are we not leveraging credit and money? Think about it. Billionaires are doing it all day long. I'm going to show you they Facebook, Apple, they're using other people's money. I need to teach you to get that mindset to leverage credit and leverage money. Creflo Dollar was speaking to Mr. Ong back there. There's a gentleman named Creflo Dollar. He has a church called World Changers Ministry out of New York City and Atlanta, Georgia. He says the greatest miracle, Nora, is not to get people, it's not the cripple to walk, it's not the blind to see. The greatest miracle is to get people to change their mindset. Change it. How many of you guys have heard of Robert Kiyosaki? Yes. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He says, if you do it right, you'll die in debt. Oh, let me say it again. If you'll do it right, you'll die in debt. Kyle said it. People are buying mortgage, they're buying home loans. There's a big debt that makes them no money. True or not true? True. Right? Car loans, there's a debt, makes no money, it's depreciating. How does that make sense to buy a car cash for $20,000 when you drive it off the lot, it's worth $15,000? Anybody want to make an investment with me? Hey, Kyle, give me $20,000 and tomorrow I'll give you $15,000 back. How many guys are in? None of you guys are, but you do it all day long when you buy cars cash, when you buy homes cash. Why would you do that? Makes you no money. Why? The reason why Robert Kiyosaki says if you do it right, you'll die in debt. Isn't this why we have insurance, Larry? In other words, if I get the debt of a mortgage loan, for example, hypothetically, or a car loan, right, and I'm making my payments on time, and I got my insurance in place, right? If I got my trust in place, if I died today, didn't I die in debt? Yeah. But I have the insurance and everything else to protect me. Are you getting that? Don't be afraid of debt. The reason why a lot of people are afraid of debt because they're called consumers. How many of you guys know what consumers are? Some of you guys were consuming today all the food back there. Right? They consume everything. Oh man, I got a $20,000 credit card, right? I got a $20,000 credit card. Hey, let's go get the suite in Vegas at the Venetian. Let's go watch the Celine Dion show. Let's buy some outfits for us. Hey, you know what? If we spend $2,000, they only take 3% a month off that. It costs us $60 a month for the payment. We can afford that, right? So they consume, they make the minimum payments, Larry, and all of it towards interest, and then 5 years go by and they wonder why the balance is not going down, and then they lose their job, their business goes slow, they can't pay the credit cards. Now you got late, 30, 60, 90, 120, 180, it goes to collections, goes to charge-offs. Man, now they're calling you, they want to sue you, garnish your wages, levy your bank account. Bad experience, oh, I hate credit. You're just going to get in debt. No, you should hate you, the decision you made to do what you did. I don't teach credit that way, I teach make money with it. Is there anything wrong with getting a 0% credit card for 12 months? 0% credit. And by the way, when you spend on it, they give you like Citi Visa, Costco, gives you 4% when you buy things at Costco, 3% when you buy things other places, 2% on gas, and 1% of everywhere else. What's wrong with getting paid while you spend or invest? Try doing that with cash. Doesn't happen, does it? You're going to spend anyways. You might want to get money back from it. Right? I love when I take these trips, because when I take these trips, free hotels, free travels, free flights, and all that kind of stuff. You're going to do it anyways, right? So Robert Kiyosaki says if you do it right, you'll die in debt. Right? You'll do it right, you'll die in debt because of the fact that as long as you make your payments on time, you're fine. Even Robert Kiyosaki says, I love my credit cards. I love my credit cards. Over 100 credit cards, over $1 million in credit. Anybody like having access to over $1 million in credit? Do you walk tall? Do you walk when you travel, right? You don't think about what you're going to get. You can do what you need to do, right? My book you guys are going to get in just a minute. It says it's better to have more credit and not need it than less credit and need more. Or if you want to throw a combination in, you can say it's better to have more money and more credit and not need it than to have less money and less credit and need more. Isn't it better to have, hopefully, more food and more drinks and not need it than have less food and less drinks and need more? Then we got to sell Mr. Alm to Costco, go get some more because we didn't get enough. Right? Get more than enough. There's nothing wrong. Here's the thing. People will say money is the root of all evil. You guys ever hear that? Yep. Oh, money is evil. Well, the last time I spoke with Benjamin Franklin, he's not doing anything evil to me. He's neutral, isn't he? 1 Timothy 6:10 says the love of money is the root of all evil. That's right. It's when you love it, when you kill, when you steal, right? But you know what? Money and credit is a very good servant. Very good sermon. See, we teach it to you guys to make money with it. Let me give you an example, true example. I have one of my several credit cards that I have. I walked into a credit union. Credit unions are good because they give you low interest rates, right? I walked in there within 25 minutes. I got a $15,000 credit card, 0% for 12 months. Anybody like 0% for 12 months? Say aye. Aye. And then they said, by the way, you're also approved for a $30,000 car loan. No money down. Oh, let me say it again. No money down. No payments for 90 days. 2.79 interest rate for the next 5 years. Anybody like walking out with $45,000 within 20 minutes? Right? Here's the other thing. They said, oh, by the way, do you want us to put that $15,000 credit card in your bank right now as far as the money goes? I said, no, because first of all, I don't have the card. It takes 7 to 10 days. And if I do that, you're going to charge me a cash advance fee plus 28% because of the cash advance I took. They said, we don't do that at the credit union here. Okay, I said, hold on. But I don't have the card yet. So he says, okay, we own the credit card. We press one button, that money goes to your bank account that you just opened up with us. You will still keep the 0% and we won't charge you a dime. What do you think I told the banker? Transfer the money. Transfer the money, $15,000 went to my account. As a hobby, for over 20 years, I've been buying and selling cars as a hobby. I get a call within an hour. My friend says, hey, I got a 2006 Volvo XC90 four-door automatic, navy blue with black leather interior, fully loaded. It's worth about $7,000 to $8,000. I'll give it to you for $4,500. What do you think I said? I'll take it. So I got the $4,500, not my money, the bank's money, got the $4,500, gave it to my friend, right, bought the car. 1 week, sold that car for $7,000. Does anybody like making a $2,500 profit and you never touched your own money? Does that make sense how to leverage credit? That's how you use credit. This is how you'll love having credit. This is how you want to have more of it because you want to be ready for opportunity. Right? Anybody like getting into college? You guys have heard of a bridge loan, Mayroos? I know you heard of a bridge loan before, right? Escrow is about to close. Clients don't have enough money to close on. They need $10,000. Loan will close in 2 weeks. We can show it by the escrow company. We can get it notarized and everything. Okay, what's the deal? $12,000 in 2 weeks, you get $12,500. Anybody like making $2,500 in 2 weeks? By the way, I never used my money. I took the 0% money that didn't cost me anything. Gave the $10,000 to them to close on escrow. 2 weeks later, right, guaranteed by the escrow, right? I got my $12,500 back. Never even touched my money. If you do it right, you will use OPM, other people's money, or the bank's money, and this is how we teach you to become the bank. Does anybody want to become the bank? Right? The way you become the bank, which I'm going to go over, is you have to have good personal credit and good business credit. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, and you need to fix it or start it now. Period. Because if you let 6 months go by, 12 months go by, you're still going to need credit, you're still going to need money. Mayroos, you're going to want to buy a house from Mayroos. We have a couple other real estate people in here, and they're going to look at your credit, and if your credit's not good, your interest rate's going to be extremely high. You're going to have to put a big down payment, 10, 15, 20%. But if you have good credit, 720 or above, let's go 3% FHA, right? Come on, man, and think about it. Do you know how much more money you pay when you have bad credit? Let me just keep it simple. $30,000 car. You got bad credit, $5,000 down, 28% interest rate. That $30,000 car you just bought, right, at 28% interest rate a year, what's 30% of 30,000? Isn't that $9,000? $9,000 times 4 or 5 years, 45,000 plus the principal of 30,000 for that car. You're going to pay $75,000 for a car when 5 years later it's only worth 10. Doesn't make sense, right? That's what happens when you have bad credit. Pay now or pay later, but you will pay. How about if you have good credit? 0% down, no payments for 90 days, your interest rate 0% to 2.79% for the next 5 years. That $30,000 car usually costs you $30,000 5 years later, or at the most $32,000, $33,000. Think about it. $30,000, let's say it costs you $3,000 in interest. $30,000 minus $3,000, anybody like saving $27,000 in interest? Pay now or pay later. Let me ask you this question. How many guys would give me $5,000 if I can save you $27,000? I see all hands going up. Let me say it one more time if you didn't understand the question. Remember we talked about participation? How many would give me $5,000 if I'll save you $27,000? You guys are paying it anyways. If you got that credit, go look at your statements. Go pay the car for 5 years and see how much interest you paid. You're right. He's right. I paid $27,000 over 5 years. Wouldn't it be worth giving that $5,000 to save yourself $22,000? Come on. Pay now or pay later, but you're going to pay. I want you guys to get this. Okay? You with me so far? Say aye. Aye. All right. Now, if I go too fast, slow me down. I get excited. I believe in what I do, but I know how powerful this is for you. Let me share with you the power of credit. Kyle talked about, he said it, that I say now, cash used to be king. You know how I say cash is king? Mm-hmm. Cash is queen. This is worth nothing. Paper. Think about it. The paper is not even worth what the actual value of the money is. It takes pennies to print this paper up. And isn't it true 25 years ago you could buy a gallon of gas for about 89 cents, maybe 25 years ago? Try to take the same dollar, Joanne, and go buy a gallon of gas today. You're paying $3, $4 more. You see how it goes down in value?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Did you know you can print this up faster than you can make it? If you've got a good credit, 720 FICO score or above, you've had your credit for a handful of years, you got 3 credit cards, you make sure your debt to credit ratio blends 10%, maybe you got a mortgage loan, maybe you got a car loan, those are called installment loans. I get you $100,000 today. 4 credit cards, $25,000 a piece. How many guys can use $100,000? By the way, it spends the same way as this does. Don't a lot of people accept Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover? Aren't there banks like the credit union I shared with you that put that money into the bank account, didn't charge me a dime of cash advance fee? How long would it take you to make $100,000? Oh, let's say I make $30,000 a year. It's going to take me 3 years working 40, 50 hours a week, 160, 200 hours a month. I'm working with an employer I do not like, the boss I hate, and my coworkers, they bother me. And it's taking me 3 years to make $100,000. You got good credit, you have $100,000. You guys want some real estate properties? You want to invest in your business? Right? I know the lady back there has got a nice coffee business, right? I like to use other people's money to get my coffee. Think about it. Even if you had $100,000 right now, maybe some of you guys do. Women can get away with it because they got big purses. They can stick $100,000 in their purse. But I promise you, they're going to be watching that purse like a hawk. True or not true? They want to make sure that that purse doesn't get taken because there's 100 G's in there, right? Guys, it's going to be hard for us. It's going to be a bulk. We're able to get it here. It's going to be tough. But guess what? When you have good credit, you can hold $100,000 right here. Nobody knows you have it. You guys think you walk a little bit taller having $100,000 in your pocket? 0% for 12 months? Can you fly anywhere? Can you go first class? Can you go to your Hawaii's? Can you go to your Houston, Texas? Can you go to your Vegas? Right? Even if you are broke, busted and disgusted like Kyle likes to say, but you got good credit, I can still walk tall. Does that make sense? I got access to the money. Got access to the money. You guys getting this? That's why I get excited. You'd be excited too. I don't need to be the only one having this. By the way, I'm one of a handful of people, maybe, that you'll ever come across of that will actually show you the credit that he has. Most people will talk about it, but they're not being about it. How many guys ever ran in front of a real estate person before and said, they say, you need to buy a home? Maybe you guys are some of them. You need to buy a home. Why? Because there's equity. You can make money with it as it grows over time. And then you ask them, how many homes do you own? Oh, I don't. I rent a 1-bedroom apartment. Then why should I buy if you're not buying? How does that not make sense? How does that make sense? What about when you go to a car dealership? Let's say you go to Lexus car dealership, Mercedes car dealership. Say, I'm just giving you an example. You role play with me, Mayruz. Hey, Mayruz, man, what do you think? I'm thinking about the Lexus ES300. I'm thinking about the GS350. I'm thinking about the LS430. What Lexus do you think I should get, right? And you know the sales guy, right? Oh man, the LS430, it's smooth, it's big, especially for what you do more. You talk about credit, right? It's gonna be a nice appearance. And I'm gonna say, Mayruz, what kind of Lexus do you own? Oh well, I don't. I drive a Honda. Then why don't you go work for Honda? How did that make sense? You're telling me something that you're not doing. See, I'm not going to tell you something that I'm doing. If I'm telling you I'm fasting, I lost over 50 pounds, I'll show you a picture from before and afters. Notice I didn't eat right now. Right? I'm already going 15 hours of having eating, right? I'll usually do 20, 23 hours, like 1 meal a day. Right? You want to lose weight? Eat less. Come on, simple. Think about it. Think about a balloon. Put water in the balloon. What happens to the balloon? It starts expanding. That's all the food you put. If you put less of water into the balloon, it doesn't expand as much. It's just simple stuff. So you guys all know what to do. You just don't do what you know. You guys know you should all have personal credit. You need to do it now. Why wait when you know you need it now? But then you guys are going to think about it, contemplate, analyze, you're paralyzed, you'll never do anything. Then you wonder why you're in the situation you're in. Because you won't take action now. Do you guys realize successful people take action? Right now, they don't wait. Why would I want to wait if I know I need to have good credit? Larry's going to check it. I want Columbus. They're fantastic, man. I want to get appointed. I want to make money with them. But guess what? Your credit's bad. You keep hesitating on it. Why do you hesitate? Well, the money. Really? The money? You're going to remember I said pay now or pay later? You're paying way more if you don't fix your credit right now. $27,000 more in a car. What's a measly $299, $99 a month? $699 for 12 months for the whole year. $58 a month. Your best investment's in yourself. If you're putting everything off before you're saying everything else is important. Oh, you don't believe me? You think you're the most important? Let me ask you this. When you get your money, when you get your paycheck, direct deposit, every week, every 2 weeks, once a month if you're a teacher, who gets paid first? Oh, I gotta pay my mortgage. I gotta pay my rent. I gotta pay my car payment. I gotta pay my credit card. I gotta pay Kyle.
I gotta buy my lipstick.
I gotta buy my lipsticks. You know when you do that kind of stuff, you're saying all those other things are more important than you are. That's what you're saying. Mortgage is more important, so you're worried about this. I don't know what. Give me some Mayroos. Give me some loan companies that give loans. Quicken Loans, right? 1-800 Loans. You're saying they're more important. That's why they're getting rich, because they know how to get you guys to pay them first. They're saying, suckers, thank you. Keep paying me first. Why don't you pay yourself first? Let's say you make, I'm gonna think big. You make $50,000 this month. Gross. First thing I do, I'll share what I do, and then I can share what you guys suggest to do. I give 10% to my church. I go to Shepherd Hill Church over in Porter Ranch, California. I've been a born-again Christian since '96. I can't do anything that I do now if it's not for him. So the first thing I do, I make $50,000 a month. I pull $5,000 to give to my church. That's where I'm getting fed. Just like you're getting fed today, I'm getting fed. So I'm going to feed that pastor, that church, because I want it to grow. I want it to go big, because I want God's word to spread across the entire world. So I take 10%. It's called tithing. $5,000, boom, automatically. I go online. I put my credit card in because I get my miles, my points. $5,000 goes to the church. And then I ask God, how much more do you want me to give? Give another 5%. Okay, so that's another $2,500. $7,500 immediately goes to the church. So I pay God first because he's my source. Why do you want to burn the hand that feeds you? He gets paid first. And then, me. Then I'll take another 5, 7, 10% save myself. I got 2 IULs. Does that make sense? Index Universal Life, guarantee won't lose pay no time. I pay me. I put some money aside. I invest money. There's something called MIM. Make money, invest money, multiply. Make, invest, multiply. Start paying yourself first. First God, then you. If you don't pay yourself first, you're saying, I'm not valuable. And by the way, if you never pay yourself first, you'll always be broke. Go read the book called The Richest Man of Babylon. Go read it. Pay yourself first. Obviously, God first, and then yourself. Other than God, yourself. Because then you'll never be able to say that you're broke. True or not true? See, how many of you guys would agree is broke is temporary? You could have money today and you have no money today, but money tomorrow. That's temporary, isn't it? But poor is a mentality. It's the way you think, I don't have enough. How many of you guys come on? Maybe some of you guys are guilty of it. I was before. Hey, let's go to Costco 10 miles on the other across the town because their gas is 5 cents cheaper. And then I'm going to wait for 40 minutes. 40 minutes if my car's burning more gas. Just to wait to save 5 cents on my Yukon that does 20 gallons of gas. Hey, I'm going to save it. 5 cents times 20 gallons is how much? $1? What is your time worth? What can you have done in 35 minutes on the phone? I mean, think about it. Kyle showed you. $300 a month times 12 is $3,600. 60% contract, $2,100. Who cares if I got to pay 10 cents more in gas? My time is worth more. Stop doing poor mentalities. How many of you guys cut coupons? Come on. I used to go to church every Monday, Bible study. My friend's mom would, instead of paying attention to church, she's cutting coupons while the Bible study is going on. Why? Why don't you read the Word and pay attention to Bible study? God will overflow you, and you don't have to cut coupons. I'm not saying anything's not wrong with the coupon. If I was going to buy it a card game, you gave me a coupon, I get $5,000, I'll take it. There's no time. You cut the coupon, I didn't. Right? And I give it, and I get my $5,000 discount. But don't take the time doing that. Why don't you focus on making more money? Instead of trying to cut things, the electricity, the cable, yes, I don't have cable, I don't watch TV. Doesn't do anything for you. You got YouTube right now, right? I'm sure you got internet. Watch things you want to watch that actually give you increase in your life. Cut the TV, cut the radio. Start listening to people that you admire, that you want to be like. Whether it be Grant Cardone, Anthony Robbins, Kyle Kuzman, right? Kyle Salon, Mayroos, right? Nora from Sonora, Loida, I can go on and on with people. Santa Clara, you guys, Marco Polo. Why don't you focus on things that are things like this, the best investment in yourself? Quit the TV, quit working with the radio, and read books. Readers are leaders. So I'm going to get my book today. Listen, I'm no different from any of you guys here. The only difference is I take action. Kyle says, come to Big, let's go. Come to San Jose, let's go. Fremont, let's go. Pleasant, let's go. I didn't do Hawaii, we'll do it next month, and then I'll come in, because I got things that got going on. Then we got Vallarta tomorrow. We're going to Puerto Vallarta for 4 days. We're going to be with 45 founder, mastermind entrepreneurs, man. You want to be around those type of people. Let's go. But guess what? If you're broke, you don't got good credit, you ain't going. Do you know how many times this has saved me? You know how many times this has saved me? When I didn't have money, business was slow, Oh, I've had houses repossessed. I had $1 million, we have foreclosed. I had $1 million house foreclosed on, $400,000 house foreclosed on. Remember 2006, 2007, $300,000 house foreclosed on. We're in our garage. The garage door is closed. Honey, what's that noise outside? It's 2 a.m. Tow truck's taking our car, the GS300. Oh, I know what it's like to be broke, busted, and disgusted. I know what it's like to have foreclosed homes, cars repossessed. Then you lose all your friends. When you got money, everybody wants to be around you. When you don't got it, where the heck happened to them? Yep. Right? You know, it was so bad for me. This is a true story. I know Kyle Talon likes to hear this, but it's true. It's comical, but it's true. I was so broke, busted, and disgusted. I used to take my MasterCard. My MasterCard. It had a little bit of room on it. Withdraw money off my MasterCard, off the ATM, to make my minimum payment on my Visa. And then I freed money, Mayruz, on my Visa, right on? Cash advance this to make my minimum payment on my what? MasterCard. And when the two caught along, like the juggling act, that's when I discovered the Discover card. Does that make sense? And then what happens once I discovered the Discover card, right? Once I discovered the Discover card, it got so bad that American Express said, leave home without it. This is a true story. So I know what it's like. Oh, no money, this, I can't go, this and that. If a man thinks he can or can't, he's right. That's right. It's what you feed yourself. You can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. Did you guys know that money's never an issue?
That's right.
Yes.
You can be broke today. Money's never an issue.
That's right.
Never. $125 for this opportunity, please. Put on your credit card, put on your debit card, pay cash, whatever you got to do. Businesses, I think Lloyd has said it averages $50,000 or more. Oh, I can care if you have no money right now. Let's say you're broke. The only thing you got in your pocket is lint. That's pretty broke, isn't it, Connie?
It is.
I promise you this. Are these pretty nice buildings around here, Larry? Here in Vegas, right? Pretty nice? Let's say the owner of these buildings just won the lotto for $1 billion. And he said, you know, all these buildings here, there's about 400 doors. My mortgage every month on all these buildings, I'm just going to throw the numbers out, it's $1 million a month. But after all expenses are paid, I net $1 million a month. And for any of you guys can come up with $10,000 this week. Some of you guys said to yourself, you don't have the 125. $10,000 this week, the whole building's yours, you get the deed of trust. How many of you guys, with the show of hands, are going to go get the $10,000? Only a few of you guys? And the rest of you guys, no, I'm not going to find anything. How many of you guys are not going to raise your hands no matter what I say? How many of you guys would go find the $10,000 so I can get the $50 million, $100 million buildings, have an expense of $1 million a month, but at the end, I net $1 million. $10,000 for $1 million. $10,000, by the way, this is a true million, for $1 million.
Come on!
Woo! Martha, can you hold me here real quick? Hold this up, please. There's 100 of these full print stacks, 10,000. 100 times 10,000 is how much? $1 million. How many of you guys would go get 10,000 to get $1 million every month? I would hope you guys said, heck yeah! So don't ever tell me money's not an issue. Oh, $125 to join, I don't have it. No, the only reason why people don't come out of money out of their pockets is because they don't see the value. Once the value is shown, which I'm going to prove to you today, you're going to see how people will pull their money out. A person of value. And how do you become more valuable? Because if you become more valuable, you make more money. It's by the books you read, the seminars you attend, the mentors, coaches, and teachers you have in your life, and how fast you can take action, which is right now. Does that make sense? Give it up for Marco Polo. All right. Now, does that make sense how money's never an issue? Value's there, you'll find a way. So, let me go real quick, because I don't have so much time, but I might have a little bit more because you guys ate lunch already. So I know we're trying to grab up for lunch. Okay, first thing I'm going to touch real quick. You better have good personal credit, and you better have it now. So if you're someone who has less than perfect credit, you're in the 500 to 600, or you're not sure, we'll give you a free credit analysis. We'll email PDF. It takes 5 minutes. We will go over your credit. If your name's spelled correctly, your inquiries, if you have any collections, charge us. We will go over it, help you with it, and we'll tell you what needs to be done to correct it. And it can be done quite quickly. Doesn't have to take forever. It may take 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months, 8 months, 12 months. You got to be patient with it, but it can be done. The bottom line is if you act now, it can be done. Does that make sense? And once you get to 720 or above, remember I told you I'm going to show you guys how to become the bank? You guys ever heard of this saying? Find someone who has what you want, do what they do, and you'll get what they have. Do you think I know where to go to get money? 720 above, let's get you 100 grand today. Let's get you 50 grand today. Can any of you guys use that in the next 90 days? 6 months? 12 months? Well, you better take action now, what I'm going to share with you. You got to have good personal credit. On personal credit, all you got to do is make sure you pay your bills on time. Make sense? You get your bill 2 weeks before it's due on the 1st. Most of you guys probably pay on the 1st. Even if you make your minimum payments, you're going to have good credit, right? But here's my suggestion. Pay your bill 2 weeks before it's due. As soon as you get the bill, let's say you owe $100 that month, minimum payment. Pay $50 it right away. Are you with me? Yeah. And then 2 weeks later, however you guys do it, pay 3 days before the due date, another $50. It's the same $100, right? You're just paying a little earlier and a little bit earlier. By doing that, it'll help your credit score increase that much more. Wow. You're going to make the payment already. Just make it twice. Isn't that thing? You guys got that system? 30-year loan to 15, same mortgage payment, pay twice a week. You cut 15 years of interest, same kind of concept. For some reason why, if you take that minimum payment you're going to pay on your credit cards, pay 2 weeks early, and 3 days before the due date, your score goes up that much higher. So let's just say, for example, if you make one payment, you get 1 point, but if you make 2 payments, you get 5 points. Is it worth it? Isn't that the difference between a 696 or a 701? Ooh, you get 1 point less on your mortgage loan. That's a huge savings when you're buying a house here in Vegas for $300,000, whatever it may be. Those little things count. Does that make sense to you guys? Say aye. Yeah. 2 weeks earlier, right? 3 days before the due date. Okay? Here's another thing. If you always want your scores to be high, how many of you guys want your scores to be high? By the way, your score is only relative on highness when you're getting ready to apply for something. That's where it counts. True or not true? Oh man, I need you to pay your debt down. If you pay your debt, your credit card debt, keep it below 10% of the available credit. So let's say you have a $10,000 credit card. If you max it out, you spend $10,000. Isn't that true? You're 100% debt to credit? If you pay $9,000 down, $9,100 down, where you have a $900 balance, you're at a 9% debt to credit ratio. Does that look good on a credit report? We like that. Does that make sense? So if you keep your credit card balances below 10%, your score will always be high. What I mean by high, 720 and above, 700 and above, minimum would be 680. Does that make sense? Yes. You only need to do that when you're getting ready to apply for something, a mortgage loan, a credit card loan. I'm not saying you can't max your cards out. You can do that if you want. Just make sure you pay your bills on time to make sure it stays good. But as soon as you're getting ready to apply for something, a mortgage loan, a car loan, a credit card, whatever, make sure you pay it down. It updates on the credit report, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. And then you go apply for that loan, because then when they look at your credit, everything is paid down, scores are over 700, and guess what? How many of you guys like to hear approved? Congratulations, Joanne, approved. Congratulations for the 25,000, 0%. Don't we like the congratulations? Congratulations, Larry, you're appointed with the Columbus Life, the number, right? Won't we like to hear that? Guess what? Get your personal credit right, you will get approved. You want to have at least minimum, on the personal side, 3 credit cards. Hopefully you're taking notes. 3 credit cards minimum on the personal side. If you can have a mortgage loan in there or a car loan, those are installments. TransUnion, Equifax, Experian like to see a mixture of credit. There's like 5 different ways to keep your credit score high. 35% history, 15% new accounts. There's a lot of different ways they're going to look at it. But you got to have it right on the personal. Make sense? Did you guys learn something? Yes. Let me ask you, do we make 1 payment a month or 2 payments a month when we pay our credit? 2. Who said 2? Joanne, did you say 2? You got to keep that 50,000 stacked, didn't you?
I didn't. I give it back to Kyle.
There you go. You ready? Here's the 10,000. Okay? If you guys participate, you'll get more gifts. Oh, by the way, we always say millionaires sit in the front row. You know why I do my best to always sit in the front row unless today you guys are guests? It's because I remember going to a seminar. There was a gentleman named Robert Sheeman speaking. There was about 50,000 people. You ever heard of the Learning Annex? Learning Annex, they had like Robert G. Allen, Donald Trump, George Foreman, Magic Johnson, Robert Sheeman. Robert Sheeman had hundreds, and you know the VIP, very important people. He said, oh, by the way, this is why you sit in the front row. Right? He said, by the way, this is why you sit in the front row. Because I can't throw that far. Does that make sense? He threw hundreds out to the crowd. Well, you can keep those, by the way. It's okay. Yeah. He threw hundreds out there. Hundreds! As many as you can pick up. But guess what? If you're way back in the bleeding rows back there, he couldn't throw that far back. By the way, this is fake money and people are getting it. Interesting. Interesting. Goes to show you. So why do you want to sit in the front row? Because you can get to it. You got some. And you can hear better, can't you? Not like, what did he say? What did she say? Does that make sense? All right? So, are we getting this with personal credit? How many credit cards, personal, do we need at least? Three. Good. 3. You want to keep your debt to credit ratios below what? 10%. By the way, do you know that you repeating it, participating, you retain more? That's right. You know the fastest way to learn something is teach it right after you learn it. Hey, by the way, did you know if you have credit cards, you want to at least have 3? And by the way, if you keep your debt to credit below 10%, your score will always be high. It's hot right now. That's when you need to teach it. Participate, you'll get it more. By the way, when you take notes, take it writing. Don't use your iPad, don't use your computer, take it writing. Your brain doesn't register the same when you're doing this. Right? It registers different when you're writing things down. Does that make sense? Okay? Now, Kyle Salon knows I can go forever because I love what I do, man. I want to give it to you. I want you to get something out of this. I want you to become more today. I want you to be better today than yesterday. This month than last month, right? This week than last week, this year than last year. I want you to be better. I want you to be better coming in or going out than when you came in. Does that make sense? So please get this, okay? So is personal credit pretty simple? Yes. Okay? And even if you guys say, well, I have good credit already, yeah, I got that 720, why not go for 850? Still get an evaluation from us. Still get that credit analysis, even if you think you have good credit, so we can help you that much more. Do you guys know sometimes a little tweak can make it that much more for you to get a lower interest rate or approved for a higher credit line? Makes sense? Because here's the thing. People, even though they say they have good credit, it's never as good as they say it is. And people who say they have bad credit, it's never as bad as they say it is. So it's better for us to take that X-ray. Does that make sense? Let's take the X-ray. It doesn't hurt, right? It's $24.99 to get the credit monitoring system because we need to do the X-ray. But that's it. What does that work? Remember, if you have bad credit, how much more interest you're going to pay on the car. Okay? You guys getting this on personal credit? Okay? 3 credit cards, debt to credit with 10%, pay 2 weeks early, 3 days before, right? You'll be good to go. Okay? And my book has everything else I'm going to give you in just a moment. Okay? Now, let me get to one of the most exciting things I love talking about. How many guys, or most of you guys, are entrepreneurs in here? And you guys won't hear a lot of guys like me talking about it. Business credit. Business credit. You guys are all entrepreneurs. You don't have access to money, funding. You don't have a corporation getting business credit. Doesn't make sense. It's almost like you're not a real business person if you don't have it. Did you guys know that if you have bad personal credit right now, you can have terrible credit? It's 300, 400, 500. How many guys would like a fresh start right now? Fresh. You want a fresh start? Start building business credit. Get a corporation under tax ID and Dun & Bradstreet number, you have a fresh score. By the way, in business credit, they give you 10 to 100 times more money than they do in personal. Oh, by the way, you know business credit? You can max all your credit cards out. You can leave them maxed out. They don't care. All they care about is you paying the bill on time. Is that easier than they have to think about 10% debt to credit ratio? I got to make sure I'm free. No. You can have a lot of credit cards, max them out. As long as you pay on time or pay early, your score will always remain high. Scores go from 0 to 100. You want an 80 score. That's like having an 800 FICO score on your personal. How many guys know if you have an 800 FICO score, you can pretty much get anything, approved for anything, right? All you got to do is pay on time. If you pay early, the score will go higher. Okay? The 3 bureaus for business is called Business Equifax, Business Experian, and Dun & Bradstreet. By the way, you don't have to worry about remembering what I'm saying. It's all in my book I'm going to give you. Okay? But let me share some things, and we'll go right down to it. 12 reasons having business credit is a must for every successful company, and how not having it can be disastrous for your business. Do you know most businesses that get started go out of business within the first year because they run out of money? Either their own money, their 401k or savings, or they got an equity line off their home. Now the business didn't go right. They foreclose on the home, right? Credit's bad. They run out because they didn't know how to build business credit under a Dun & Bradstreet number or tax ID. This is why it's so important you guys are in there today, because we have a whole system that will teach you how to do it. Can anybody use an extra $50,000 or more in 180 days or less, even if you have terrible credit? $50,000 or more in credit, even if you have trouble credit. I'll show you how to get that, okay? But let me tell you why, which I'll show you on my PowerPoint, why large companies still get money. Facebook, Apple, even though they have a lot of it. Let me ask you this question. Marco Polo, come up here real quick. Marco Polo has got a pizza business, okay? He wants to sell his pizza business for $50,000. It's a great pizza business. It's called Marco's Pizza. The cheese melts right in your mouth, right? I have a pizza place. I also want to sell for $50,000. Mine's called Marlin Pizza. And my pizza cheese melts before it even gets in your mouth, right? We both want $50,000, right? We both got great pizza companies. We'll show you our revenue, our numbers. We're making $150,000 after everything's paid, right? We got a system, like Kyle talked about. We got a system, okay? He wants to sell for $50,000. I want to sell for $50,000. How do you make that? They're both in great locations. They both make $150,000 a year. You only need to buy one for yourself right now because that's what you got enough for. Who do you choose who to buy from? Who do you choose? They're both good. They showed you everything's good. You can only buy one though right now.
Credit.
Okay, credit.
Location.
Location. They're both good locations. They both make $150,000 a year.
Credit.
Let me tell you real simple before I get you the answer. You're going to choose who you like more.
Yeah.
Remember, people buy from people they know, like, and trust. You're just going to determine either flip of a coin or you're going to choose who resonated with you more, who vibrated with you more. Because we both do the same numbers, but you can only have one. True or not true, you're going to choose who you like more.
Yeah, that's true.
You may like both, but you might get back to them a little bit more, right? That's how you're going to choose. But let me tell you the real truth, how you're going to choose and why big, large companies that are worth billions and trillions still get credit. Here's why. We both got our pizza business, $50,000. Right? We're going to sell for $50,000. Okay? I say, hey, I'm going to sell my pizza business for $50,000, makes $150,000 after expenses. We got a great location because in real estate neighborhoods, it's all about location, location, location. You want to buy my pizza place, $50,000, right? Give me the $50,000. He's going to say, not only in English, but Espanol. My pizza business is Marco's Pizza, $50,000. The cheese will melt in your hand. All of me be, let's see, business. ¿Cómo se dice business in Espanol?
Negocio.
Mi negocio is business at $50,000, but not only that, I got $1 million in credit that goes with it. So you don't have to use your own money to buy the pizza dough, to buy the cheese, to buy the pepperoni, to buy the pepperoncinis. You can use our credit that we built under the corporation. Whose business do you want now, ladies and gentlemen? Do you want Marlon's Pizza at $50,000 or do you want mine at $50,000 because of the $1 million in credit?
Marco.
Oh, what did you say?
Marco.
What did you say?
Marco.
What did you say? You want Marco's because his business comes with what? $1 million in credit. So wouldn't you agree his business is more valuable for the price than mine is? This is why you want to build business credit, because your company will be that much more valuable. This is why companies like Apple and Microsoft and Sam's Club and Costco, they have a lot of money, but they still build credit because guess what? The credit that they build for their organization, their companies, is that much more valuable than the company that doesn't build it. Because think about this. If we're going to open a business right now, and I say to all of you guys, do you want to use your money or do you want to use Marco and I's money? What do you guys say?
Marco and your money.
Okay, you guys are all saying, and every time I say this, 100% of the crowd says your money. Let me ask you this question. Here's some realization for you guys. Whose money are you using now for your investments?
Other people's money.
Whose money are you using? Or, I'm using my own money, so I don't need to be in debt to anybody. Everybody's in debt. Even the most wealthiest billionaire guy. So believe me, it's okay. It's just you got to leverage that to make you money. That's the only thing. Leverage debt, like Kyle talks about. You need an asset coming in your pocket more than a liability. Leverage it and you'll love credit all day long. Leverage it. That's why we're going to teach you guys. Change your mindset, because if we teach you, we're going to have universities and boot camps like to teach you guys. Imagine this. How many guys ever watched Shark Tank?
Yes.
Mark Cuban, Larry Rubich, Mr. Wonderful, right, Larry? Mr. Wonderful. Ha! My name is Marlon. This is my partner, Marcos. M&M, making millions. We got a pizza shop. We got the best cheese that's gluten-free, and vegetarians and vegans can eat it. And all we need, sharks, is $50,000, and we're willing to give 35% of our business. What sharks right now want to eat pizza with us? You ever see that show?
Yes.
Thousands of people try to get on the show. Do you guys know this, by the way? Because you don't know the in scoops, you know what I'm talking about? That's why I get excited. By the way, most of those deals never go through. They don't. Most of them don't. And by the way, some people wait years to get on that show. Why? I know a friend of mine waited years. 2 of my friends were on that show. They didn't get shit picked, but they got to pitch their deal. They're giving away 35% of their company. You know why those sharks are salivating? Yeah. Mark Cuban, Larry Rubich, Mr. Wonderful, Alex Rodriguez, Ashton Kutcher. You've seen the different ones. Because they love the fact that those people are so passionate. They're living, breathing their business, right? Early mornings, late at nights. They want to invest in somebody who's like that because they don't have to spend a lot of time there besides some of their credibility, people that they know to help them out, but they don't have to be there. And those guys are going to do it, and they're going to make money for us. And 35% of the company, this is great. You see how the sharks are salivating? Yeah. But you know, I look at those things all day long and I say, man, those people don't understand. Maybe I'm going to go wait outside of the studios or something. I can teach them how to build their own business credit, get that measly $50,000 that they want. They don't have to give away 35% of their business. They already got the brains to do it. That's why the sharks will invest in it, because they think they're smart enough to do it. Right. But you don't need their money if you know how to build your own money, become the bank. Imagine this. Some of us might be a little challenged to get on the Shark Tank show, right? Some of you guys may have good ideas. Guess what? Do you guys know those are people? I don't care how much money they have. They're just people like us. You know what a rich man and poor man has in common? Does anybody know?
They're both dead.
They're both going to die. Doesn't matter who's rich or not. They're both going to die and be buried 6 foot under. Right? By the way, we can't take money with us. I never saw a hearse follow. I never saw a hearse. What? A U-Haul follow a hearse. Never seen it. But let me ask you this. What about, right, Kyle? What about Beirut? What about Larry? What about Lloyd and everybody else? What about if each one of you in the next 6 months, I'll be minimum, we got you access to $50,000, which I'm going to show you can be vendor credit, store credit, cash credit, business revenue, lines of credit, merchant account advance, accounts receivables, purchase. Let's just say 50,000 times 20 people. The last time I counted was how much? 1 million. Can we be our own Shark Tank among our own family here? Didn't Norris and Norris say it's more of a family here? What do you got, Kyle? Tell me what you got. What do you want us to invest in? We trust Kyle. We know him, right? He speaks for us. Yeah, I want to do this business. It's with solar. I just need $10,000 to get an office. I need a couple inventory stuff, some construction stuff. All I need is $50,000. And I'd rather give my Exertis family members a percentage than somebody else I don't know, right? All I need is $50,000. How many of his Exertis partners, agents, family members are willing to go with it? We may say, hey, Santa Clara, you put 10, I'll put 10, 10. 5 people put 10, let's do it. I'll do it, Kyle. I'll do the whole thing. Why can't we be our own Shark Tank? Why do we wait for everybody else and we got to go to such and such? Why can't you be your own? Why can't you be your own millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire credit? Why? We can be our own Shark Tank. What if we have 1,000 people in the room with 50,000 of credit? How many like 50 million? Can we be our own Shark Tank? Isn't it easier to do business with people we know, like, and trust? I don't know those people on Shark. No, we know it. We see each other, right? So I'm so passionate to you. No way you're going to be able to do that, be your own bank. You have to have good personal credit and business credit. Are you with me? Give it up for Marco Polo. All right. All right. Let's get down to it. Okay. Just remember, when you build business credit, okay, we'll go over this. 12 reasons. How many reasons? 12 reasons. Can you read that, sir? What does it say up there? Read the whole thing. Read it loud.
12 reasons having business credit. It is a must for every successful company. And how not having it can be disastrous for your business.
How many times when I wasn't making money and having credit didn't cause me to fall? Doesn't credit buy you time? I just need a little bit more time. I gotta get appointed, maybe take 30 days, a little bit of time. And then my money will come in. Right? I's are dotted, T's are crossed, blood and urine, a little bit more time. I can stand and not die. I can't pay my mortgage, can't pay my rent, can't pay my car payment. This helped me so many times to keep standing rather than falling. How many of you guys would rather still stand than fall? Credit can help you do that, right? This is why a lot of businesses go out of business, because they don't have enough money access to it, okay? Juan McKinney, Credit Resource, founded in 2011. I've been doing personal credit since over 20 years, business credit for the last 17. I opened up to the public, remember the 2006 and 7 and 2011, so 9 years in business. Why? Man, we got an opportunity. Everybody let their houses go and foreclose, me, including me, 2 or 3. Houses got repossessed, credit cards didn't pay no more. 8 out of 10 people have bad credit. I got an opportunity to solve a problem. You solve problems, you'll make money. Everybody wants their credit to be solved. Increased high, right? Headquartered in Burbank, California. How many guys went to Los Angeles? 3.5 hour drive. I'm right there. And Power 106 is my building, 103.9. Universal Studios right down the street. Paramount Studios, Hollywood, within a 10, 15-minute drive. Very nice. Come visit the office. I want to come down this way. We're here, right? Same key executives since the company inception. Same key executives. Who are that? Me. Right? Business credit is credit in a business name that's not linked to your EIN. It's linked, right, to a business EIN. Business credit is not you doing it on your Social Security or DBA. Doing business as. Keep doing business in your own name. Guess what? You're going to suffer pain. It doesn't go right. They will sue you, garnish your wages, levy your bank account. You separate it by getting an employee identification number, which we can do for you, and that's totally separate. It doesn't go right, the business. You bankrupt the corporation, you dissolve it, but you don't bring the pain home. They don't touch your house, they don't touch your car, none of that stuff. Separate personal from business. Are you with me? Okay. A lot of this stuff I said already, I'm just going to go right down to the bullet points. Is that okay, Kyle? Okay? I'm going to go right down to the bullet points. Okay? Now, you know when you apply for consumer credit, that's personal credit, they're going to look at your personal credit. Did you know they can deny you on personal credit if you have too many, your debt to credit ratio is too high, you have too many inquiries, right? You're late, you have charge-offs, they can deny you. Business credit, they pull on your EIN number, your tax ID. So if your EIN number, your Dun & Bradstreet number is clean, you got higher, greater amounts of approval than you do if compared to personal credit if it's not clean. right? All they want to do in business is look that you pay your bills on time. That is it. Just pay it on time. They don't care about debt to credit ratio, just pay on time, okay? Now, let me just go to here, because I want you guys to relate to some of this. The reason why I'm going to skip over some of this, I don't have all the time in the world. By the way, when I do boot camps, I can train for 1 week, 8 hours a day. So I can't stuff in a 60-minute talk, right? So I'm going to skip over this, because I'm going to give you my books. I'm going to give you a DVD. You're going to watch all my YouTube videos. We're going to do boot camp. We're going to travel all over the United States doing this, right? So don't worry about getting all this so much. I'm not going to overwhelm you with that. But I'm going to go to some key points here. Okay? Let me go. I'm going to keep on going. By the way, one of the fastest way to get business credit, if you grow it organically, it's going to take 180 days. Are you with me? If you grow it organically, Santa Clara, 180 days, which is fine. 6 months go by like this. Did 2019 go like this? Next month it's done. 2020 is in January 1st, or like Kyle says, 2020 started now. It goes fast, doesn't it? Right? 6 months, if you go to get Marlon, I got bad credit, it's okay. We'll build it on EIN, tax ID. We need 180 days. I'll get you 50,000 or more. I can care less how your credit looks. Okay? But if you do have good personal credit, 720 and above, I always say this. One of the fastest ways to get business credit is if you have good personal credit. If you have good personal credit, they'll look at your personal credit, but they'll give your company money. Get you 100,000 more today. So this is why I say you have to have good personal credit too. If you want the money fast, Santa Clara. Right? You better have good personal. If not, it's okay. We need about 180 days. We're going to get your money as we go, but 180 days to at least get 50,000 or more. Okay? Now, I went over that verbally. Let me just go. You don't have to take my word for it. Okay? Let me just go right here real quick. Remember on your personal credit score, payment history is 35%. Right? That's what they're going to, in order for your score to be high. Utilization, 30%. Length of history, 15%. Accumulation of new credit, 10%. Credit mix, 10%. Right? That's on personal. You have to have all those factors down in order to have good high credit scores on personal. Let me show you what it looks like on business. Dun & Bradstreet Business Payment Score. Remember, scores go from 0 to 100. Personal is what? Like 300 to 850? Expect payment may come early. If you make your payments early for business side of it, you'll get that 100 score. That's like having the 850 score on personal. Get your bill, pay it now, keep doing that, you'll have a 100 score. Payment is prompt, it's due on the 1st, you pay on the 1st, you'll have an 80 score. Remember that's the minimum score I said you'd want is 80? Most people have that because they stretch their money out as far as they can and they pay it when they have to. Right? But if you pay early, you'll get the 100 score. Payment goes beyond 21 days, your score starts to drop, doesn't it? 60, 50. The later you make your payments on business, the lower your score is going to go. The earlier you make the payment, the higher the score is going to go. But at least the thing you want to do is pay your bills on time. So business, pay on time, that's all you have to worry about. Pay earlier, your score will go. Is that pretty simple? You don't have to worry about all this other stuff.
Sir, who reports to this? You know, because my businesses have a whole bunch of trade accounts.
Yep.
So are they all reporting, or can I?
Good question.
cause them to report?
90% of businesses don't report to Dun & Bradstreet Business Equifax Experian. I'm going to show you a system after we're done with this whole seminar here. I will show you a system, one-stop shop. All of our vendors we have in our system, what's your name, sir?
Len.
Len, they all report. Dun & Bradstreet Business Equifax. Isn't it true? Doesn't it make sense to, if you're going to do business with a company, you want to make sure they report? Because if you're getting money from them and you're paying on time and they don't report, what good is it? That means nobody else knows how you pay and you can't get other credit. Every vendor we have in our system, it's called the Business Finance Suite. Every vendor, Hector, they all report. Why? Because we have a full-time staff. That's all they do is talk to banks and companies and creditors and vendors. Do you report? Do you report? Yep, we put you on our system. Boom, boom, boom. So that's your question, Len? Every one of our companies we utilize, because there's vendor credit, store credit, and cash credit, they all report. Okay, that's the cool thing about it.
Could I go to a corporate manager and say, hey, I leased 2 offices from you, here's the form report, and the booth I've got at the swap meet and stuff like that?
Good thing. He said, can I go somewhere? Let's say he's running for me. He can ask me, can I report? I could report if I want to pay Dun & Bradstreet, if I want to pay Business Equifax, if I want to pay Business Experian. It costs them money. That's why a lot of them don't report, because it costs them money every month to report. But I could, as a company, report if I wanted to, right? If that answers your question. But a lot of them don't because it costs them money. But we have the companies that do, so you don't waste your time. How many of you guys would agree time is money? Yep. I'd rather have it right now than have to wait. This is why lawyers get paid $500 retainer an hour, right? Because you won't go to school for 10 years to learn it because of time. You'd rather pay it because it saves you time. Our system will save you time. Everything's in there. Does this make sense, by the way? Yep. Okay, let me just go down to this. All right. Let me just show you, because I want to show you things that are familiar with you. By the way, having business credit gives you more credibility in your business, just like when you saw you went to Marco's Pizza Shop rather than mine. If you want to check your business credit scores, this is if you're incorporated already. If you have a corporation already, you go to NAB.com. They'll give you your business and personal all in one. NAB.com. They'll give you education, tips, everything that you need in terms of business credit, all kinds of stuff. NAB.com is a site you look at. Just like when you go to Experian.com, Equifax.com, look at your credit scores, so on and so forth. NAB.com is the one for business. Okay? Follow my book, by the way. The majority. Sometimes things change. Let me just go to this. Okay? You guys already know that if you use your own money, if you use your 401k, if you use your equity line of credit from your home, you're personally risking it. True or not true? Okay? When you do it under the business, under a corporation or a tax ID, you've sidetracked yourself from risk. You put it all on the business, not you. You do not want to bring the pain home. Okay? See, you're home, your car, so let me do this. Let me go here. Okay? See, we talked about 90%. It makes no sense to put you and your family's financial future in jeopardy when you know going in that you have 90% possibility of running into it. Remember, many times the reasons a business might fail have nothing to do with you or things you can't control, such as shifts in the economy, so don't risk it all. Man, I'm going to buy all these properties in 2006, remember? Oh yeah! Bought at the high of the market, what happened the next year? Boom, everything went down. You took all your savings from your 401k, you took money from your other home, and you 1031 exchanged it, and you lost half just like that. Don't do that. Get under tax ID, business credit, okay? So, let me do this. So you can see all these other companies, you don't have to take my word for it, okay? And then I'm going to show you when you create more value yourself, how you make money just like that, okay? By the way, business credit limits are 10 to 100 times higher than consumers. So that means if you get a $5,000 credit card on personal, you can get $50,000 to $100,000 on business for the same inquiry. How many guys would like to have 10 to 100 times more higher credit lines? Well, do it under the business, not personal. Okay? So watch this. Here we go. Getting excited here. Here we go. Here we go. It takes most businesses 90 days to report. That's why we say it's 180 days, Clara, to get 50,000 or more, because we got to wait for the businesses to report. If they reported the same day, that'd be different. They don't. It takes a little time. Right? But all of it's possible. Now watch this. Business credit is perfect for business who don't have or want to wait to show financials. A lot of our business credit we give is all stated. You remember the 100% loans? Remember 80-20 loans in 2006? You could be a gardener and say, I want 3 homes and make $1 million a year. And they said, okay, we'll give you the homes. True or not true? Right? All of our stuff, most of the stuff we do are stated. You don't have to show 2 years financials. SBA loan want 2 years financials. As long as you got the 80 score or above, approved, approved. 720 on the personal, approved, approved. Stated. You don't have to show. But I just barely started business incorporated this month. It's okay. Right? As long as you got the scores, they'll give you money. Okay? Now watch this. Business credit with no collateral. Most business lending requires collateral. All of our loans that we get you in credit, no collateral. Anybody like that? They don't attach anything. Okay? Let's go here. 90% of the general population knows nothing about business credit. Now that you do, you're not part of the 90% anymore, right? Now that you do, you have a huge competitive advantage. It is much easier to grow a business with access to credit. You can test, advertise easier, and make some mistakes without risking it all, and you can do this without putting your personal finances in jeopardy. If I have all the credit that I do, which I do, and you don't, I have so much more of an advantage than you do. Oh, I can travel here, travel there, I can build a business here. I know so many people in these different areas. You don't got credit or money, you can't travel to those places, can you? You got the credit, right? You can do it without having to risk your own money. Does that make sense? Okay? All right. Every highly successful business in the country has business credit. Every highly successful business in this country, United States of America, has what? Business credit. See, those big companies hire people like me to help them build. They don't, right? So they can go get money. Right? Check this out. Anybody know this small little company called what? It's Facebook. The ones that are up here, they can see it pretty good. If you're too far behind, you're too far, right? Facebook. Does anybody know Facebook?
Yeah.
Isn't that Mark Zuckerberg?
Yeah.
Ain't he like 50, 60, 80 billion dollar strong, Larry?
Something like that.
Did you know when business credit's all public? See, personal is not public. You have to give people permission to look at your credit, right? TransUnion, Equifax, Experian. Business credit, they don't have to get permission. I type your company in, I can see if you pay your bills on time. Ooh. You better make sure you're paying your bills on time. I'm going to know what kind of character you guys are, right? Look at Facebook. Menlo Park. Isn't that up north? Menlo Park? Isn't Menlo Park up north? Isn't that what do you call that? The Google thing? Of the, you know what I'm talking about. How many trade lines? This is all, by the way, this is all Experian, by the way. How many trade lines is Mark Zuckerberg? 40 trade lines of credit. Do you think they're like probably in the hundreds? Millions of dollars. Why does Mark Zuckerberg need credit, guys? Why does he? And here's, I'm not saying, I don't know who you guys are, but I don't need credit. I got all the cash in the world. Well, so does Mark Zuckerberg. And all of us combined with all of our money doesn't have as much as he does. And he has how many? 40 lines of credit. That skinny dude ain't done. Yeah, give us some credit. I want to leverage the bank's money. That's what I want. And he's going to, see, isn't it nice to pile up your money? Doesn't it look nice to keep piling? You don't want to take away. When you're taking it away, then you got to wait for it to come back. Isn't it nice to use the bank's money? Do you want to use your money or the bank's money? Let's start using the bank's money. That's why Mark Zuckerberg, 40 lines. Why did he use his own money? Let's use the bank's money. 40 lines of credit. What's next? Oh, how about a company named Apple? God bless his soul, Steve Jobs. Was he worth like $6 billion strong? Goes to show you all the money in the world can't buy your health. What were the 4 things I told you to study? God first, health, money, and credit. How many lines of credit does Apple have? 138 lines of credit. Interesting. And they're huge. That's why they're where they're at. Because some of you guys, I'm going to steal you my own cash. 138 lines of credit. Apple, big company, right? Who's that? Anybody shop at Walmart this week? Yeah. Isn't Walmart Sam Walton? Yeah. Isn't he Sam's Club? Well, aren't his kids? He has like 5 kids. They're in the top 10 of all richest people in the world. They're worth like 10 billion, 20 billion. And all the billions that they have. How many lines of credit does Walmart have? 513. And you wonder why they're making the billion. He still makes money while he's dead. Just goes to his kids now. Are you guys getting this? Mm-hmm. This is why I say it's important to do it now.
Do payroll companies report? Because that's a big expense when you have employees.
Yeah. Payroll companies, unless they're giving you credit, it's more of a payroll rather than credit. So most likely they're not going to report because it's a payroll. Does that make sense? Credit is when I give you money, you pay, hey, he pays on time. Right?
Or you can flip it through something.
Right. Okay? Does that make sense what I'm talking about? Right? So contrary to what many people believe, business credit is not only for big companies. Any company can build business credit. I don't care if you incorporated today, you're barely brand new, you haven't made any money, it doesn't matter, you can start business credit right now. And you can still have the same opportunity they do. In 180 days, less 50,000 more, millions or more. I had one of my clients, $174,000 in 2 days. And then we use $174,000 in 2 days, right in their bank account, boom, direct deposit, wired. Okay? Big companies are typically the ones who enjoy the benefits of business credit the most because they have CFOs who know how to obtain and use business credit where most small businesses don't. That's where I come in. That's why I'm the messenger relaying the message. I can teach you how to do that. Over 20 years of experience doing it. I live, breathe, eat this stuff. Right? Okay? So with that, let's do this. Okay? It's all in my book anyways. We'll have these out right now. How many of you guys are getting this AI? Okay? You need to get in class. You need to get educated. You need to start now. Now, we have something called the Business Finance Week. Did you know that 90% of businesses don't know how to build business credit? And the ones that do know how to build don't know how to get it? You have no clue. You're going to go to Google, YouTube, and hopefully you'll ask me now because you're learning from somebody who's got it, right? We have a whole system called the Business Finance Week. It's very simple. Very simple, okay? And Lloyd is going to hand some stuff out. Don't look at it now. Just keep paying attention, okay? Business Finance Week, you get a username and password. It's a portal, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You log in. You get audios, videos, coaches, right? We teach you the 7 steps and 20 points to build your corporation on rock rather than sand. We guarantee you get all the underwriting guidelines what it takes to get business credit, so there's no guessing game. How many of you guys can pass an open book test? Okay? Okay, let me see if you guys can pass this test then. Best Buy says we offer business credit. They say you need to be in business for 2 years, you need to have a tax ID number, and you need to have an 800 number. And you check off, yep, I got 2 years of business, yep, I got an 800 number, but no, I don't have a tax ID number. But you do have 2 out of the 3. How many of you guys would apply for that Best Buy credit because you have 2 out of the 3? Say aye. With a show of hands. How many, okay, how many of you guys would wait until you have all 3 criteria? Okay, so those ones that just raised your hand, yes, I saw you, Larry. You failed the test. It didn't say 2 out of the 3. It's 3 out of the 3. 2 years of business, tax ID, Dun & Bradstreet number, all 3. This is why I have so much credit, and our clients that are on this week have so much credit, because they don't have to guess what it takes to get the credit. Are you guys with me on that? By the way, it's all in the book, okay? So, it goes to show you that in these days, we still get people that will fail the test, even though it's open book. Alright? Now, just grab those things for you. Make sure you got a book. There's a DVD and a CD, business credit decoder and all. We might not have enough of the other ones, but that's okay. Everybody got one? If everybody didn't get one, raise your hands, we'll get it to you. Okay, it's great stuff. Read it while you're on the plane, while you're going back home in your hotel room. Read. Readers are leaders. In my book, I wrote on there, read, apply, succeed. Read, apply, succeed. You need to apply what you're learning here today, immediately. Okay? Now, how many of you guys feel that you're valuable? I mean, truly feel that you're valuable. How many guys would want customers running after you than you running after them? How many guys would love Santa Clara, please give me that IUL from Columbus. I want guarantee, won't lose, pay no taxes, critical chronicle, terminal illness rider. I want it, man. I want it. When can we meet? Don't you want clients doing that? Yes. Instead of you having to what? Follow up, chase them. Are you ready, Santa Clara, to do your policy? Obviously, it would make sense, right? Guarantee, won't lose, pay no taxes, but you still get people that want to think about it. Always remember this, successful people make quick decisions and stick to it. Unsuccessful people will sit around, contemplate, analyze till they're paralyzed, they'll never do nothing. Which one are you? Are you one that does things now? So watch this. How many of you guys, I'll show you, this is going to be training for you guys. How many of you guys would love people to run to you, wanted to buy what you have? Yeah. Anybody want a live example of that? Yeah. Okay. Remember I told you it's important to have at least 3 credit cards? Right? And the longer the history you have on your personal credit, if your credit 2 years old, 3 years old, 5 years old, 10, the older you've had credit, the longer you've had credit, the higher your score will go. Are you with me? That's called 35% history. The more history you have, the higher your score will go. Okay? The higher credit line you have, you have a higher credit line, the higher your credit score will go too, as long as your debt to credit ratio is below 10%. So it's important to have high credit lines and long history, right? Now let me ask you this. If I had a credit card for you, regardless of your personal credit, I don't care if you have collections, charge-offs, late, regardless of your credit, you get bad credit, 500 FICO score. If I told you I can get you a $5,000 credit card today, how many guys would want that? $5,000 credit line. Only a few guys? Guaranteed approval. Okay, let me say it one more time. $5,000, by the way, they can lead to more. $5,000 credit line right now, regardless of your personal credit, right now. Okay. Good. More hands went up. Now, how many of you guys, when I told you guys earlier, I said this. Your best investment is in what? Yourself. Okay? How many of you guys, let's see how valuable you guys are, how many of you guys would invest in yourself $100 to get a $5,000 credit line today that reports to TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian? How many? If you guys on your debit card and you want that line of credit today, go ahead and stand up right here. Come on. Come on up. $100. Pull your $100. Don't come out if you have no money. You can pull out your credit card. You can pull out your $100 cash. Go ahead and pull it here. Put it up here. $100 cash. Come on up. Come on up. Don't be afraid. Take action. Come on up here. If you have a debit card, we take it. American Express, Discover. Right? Come on up. $100 cash. Come on. Come on up. Right here. Okay. Come on right here. Come on up. $100. You get a $5,000 line of credit today. And by the way, I'm going to show you how more people are going to stand up as well. $100, you get a $5,000 line of credit. You can be a debit card, a MasterCard, right? Are you with me? Okay? Well, I don't know what my main counts a lot. You're not feeling me? What's going on, my brother? All right. Kyle, we got the $100 people here. Now, let's look behind you. Look behind you. Don't give me the fake cash either. Don't give me the fake cash. All right? I'm showing you something. If you're really, I want that 5,000 line that goes to TransUnion, Equifax, Experian. It's going to increase my credit score, right? Look behind you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 people out of 20, room of 20. That's over 80%, isn't it? You guys like this? By the way, this is on film. You're seeing it for yourself. $100, 5,000 line. You know why you guys are coming up? Because I got value. I don't have to beg you to get it. I got the line of credit already. Now watch this. I'm going to get the majority of the room to stand up. Everybody, ¿entiende inglés? Más o menos? If someone doesn't participate, because sometimes they know another language, right? Watch this. How many of you guys would invest $100 in yourself if I can show you today how to make $1,000 off of it? This week. Let me say it again. Stand up. $100 cash. Oh, not just $1,000. I can teach you to make $50,000 this year on a $100 investment. If all of you guys are not standing right now, $100, I don't care if it's a MasterCard, a Visa, American Express, Discover, or $100 cash, I will teach you how to make $50,000 off 100. Look around now. 95% of the room is standing. By the way, There's about 20 people in here, right? Let's just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, by the way, I'm a messenger relaying a message, right? I just want to God's children. You got your $100? By the way, don't give me the thing. Meaning, I want the real. Okay, be serious about it, because I'm seriously going to teach you something. When I collect right now, 20 people, how much did I make? 2 grand. Didn't I? I'm proving, I'm not going to give you theories. Oh, this, I'm going to show you live. Okay, now watch this. I said, how many of you guys now would invest $100, debit card, MasterCard, whatever you need, Visa, or cash, and I'll teach you how to make 1,000 this week, 1,000 today, 500 today, 50,000, 100,000. Now we got all of the rooms standing up. You filming this, Kyle? You getting all this? Okay? You want to know how? You ready?
Yes.
Now, who, raise your hand if you have $100 cash on you. Okay, then can I have that, please? Come on up. Thank you. Like $100 1 minute, right? Yeah. Okay, come on. You got it? Now, by the way, I'm still going to take your debit card or credit card. Okay? By the way, if you don't get approved by this vendor I'm going to give you, okay? If you don't get approved, you come back to me. You're going to get my phone number. Kyle has it. I'll give you $100 back. Are you with me? Is that fair enough?
Yeah.
You don't get approved. Maybe they change the rules and regulations. You have a bankruptcy, a tax lien, foreclosure. They say no public records. You're declined. I'll give you $100 back. No big deal. But I'll tell you why you're not going to want your $100 back. Okay? Tell you why. Because what I'm about to show you today, right now, you're going to make thousands of dollars. So even if you get declined, how many more people you know that's not in this room today I want that $5,000 credit line?
A lot.
Okay. Do you know what I charge when I give this $5,000 credit line to people? You guys are getting lucky for $100. Plus you're getting training. I'm teaching you how to make money. I'm going to teach you how to get credit. And I taught you about paying your stuff on early. I'm going to teach you how to make thousands just off this one thing. I charge $500 when somebody wants that. Do the math. $500 times 20. Anybody like making 10 grand for the day? And I get it all day long. $500. Why? Because they're getting a $5,000 credit line. That credit line, okay, reports a TransUnion Equifax Experian. Now, you do have to buy from their company, but the point is to help you build your credit. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay. But here's why you're going to make thousands. Because you guys know a lot of people that are not here today that would want that $5,000 credit line. True or not true? Say aye.
Aye.
Can you not go to them? Remember, teach a man a fish, give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach him, he'll eat forever. Now you're going to go to those people not here today and say, you never believe. This is why you need to come to Saturday events, and the best investments in yourself going to seminars. Because now I learned for a $100 investment, I'm making thousands of dollars. Remember how your credit is bad, right? You want a credit line, don't you? $5,000. I can get that guaranteed for you today. Would that be worth $500 for you?
Yes.
Guess what they say? They bring out their $500. They get their, yeah, I need that. Christmas is coming up. I need that. Right? And they sell a lot of jewelry and watches. They need that. You're going to get $500. If you got just one person, Tio, one person that gave you $500, Lynn, did your $100 turn into $400? Did your $100 turn to $500? You got your $100 back. You got a $400 profit. If you never told anybody in the world again, you're ahead. You tell me where you can get that kind of investment. What if you get $500? That's 500 times 20 people. Your $100 just turned into what? 10 grand. Minus 100, you made $9,900. Are you ready for this company I'm going to give you? Okay. So I got 2 people getting $100 cash. Now, are you guys good for your word?
Yes.
Okay, I'm serious about this because I have my phone thing, my computer thing, I go on authorize.net, I charge your credit card or debit card. I'm serious about this. Remember, in business, one part of the reason of big success is being good for your word. I gave you my word. If you don't get approved, I'll give you your $100 back. If it's on your credit card, I'll reverse it. If it's cash, I'll give you cash, however you want. But you're not going to want your $100 back because of what I'm teaching you, how you can make thousands. Because you have something someone wants, they don't know how to get it, and you're going to be the ones to be able to tell them how to get it because you got it today by being in this seminar. Okay? You ready for this company? Okay. Now I'm trusting you. I got 2 people that gave me the $100 already. You guys need to write this down. Okay? Write this down. Now, if you were someone at my other seminar, okay, that we did in Pleasanton, okay, I remember $100 cash and debit cards. You guys get a company at the end. Okay, when we're all done here. If you guys were at the other seminar and you invested and gave this, and you got the answer to this, please don't say, oh, save the $100. I'll go ahead and give it to you for free. Don't do that. Because guess what? You're going to have people do that to you too. That makes sense? You get paid because of the value you bring to the marketplace and the knowledge that you have. Okay? So I got the money from Santa Clara, gave me the $100, right? And I got $100 from Lynn. You ready, Lynn? You guys ready? And the rest of you guys are gonna put in your debit card or credit card. Kyle, we had 20 people. Is that $2,000, right? They're gonna come. I have my computer ready to take the debit and credit card. So I'm trusting. I'm gonna give it to you right now. But I expect those that haven't paid yet to come to me to pay me. You're gonna go to myjewelersclub.com. By the way, that's just one. myjewelersclub.com.
Jeweler.
Yep. Now, some of you guys may say, oh, I knew about that company already. Well, great. But a lot of people don't. My Jewelers. So it's spelled MyJewelers. myjewelersclub.com. They charge $99 to become a member, an annual fee. No big deal. It's very worth it. $99. And then you're going to buy something for $100 or more. My Jewelers Club, MyJewelersclub.com. MyJewelersClub.com. They have watches, gold watches. They have now. You have to buy from their company. The point is, it reports to TransUnion, Experian, Equifax, and not only that, because you have the knowledge, you can go out today to your friends. They're going to want that credit line. You can charge them $100, get your money back. You can charge $500. You can charge $1,000. Whatever you want, you're going to get your money in bar none, just like that. Because everybody wants access to it. Especially, by the way, Christmas is coming up, isn't it? Yeah. You know how many people are going to tell you, I wish I had money to buy Christmas presents. I only have $100 and I have a family of 20. Well, what about if I told you I can get you a line of credit of $5,000? You can get all the Christmas presents you want for your. You know what they're going to do? Whether it's $100 or $500, they're going to give you the money. And I promise you'll make your money back. It could be today if you want.
But if you get turned down, you have to return the money.
If you get, that's no problem, because I do the same thing. They get turned down for whatever reason, we can turn the money. But here's the thing. Are they going to know people that won't get turned down? Of course. And then guess what? They're going to be able to share it with them and make money. Does that make sense? This is why I said if you get declined, I'll give you your money back, but you're not going to want to give me your money back because I gave you a way to make thousands of dollars. If you don't, the only way you're not going to make thousands of dollars is if you don't share with people. I'm telling you, I get it all day long when I sit with people. And I just showed you how people lined up right here to give it. So myjewelersclub.com, by the way, that's just one. I have over 10 other ones that you don't know about. That one you're going to have to participate in my paid seminar. I got so many ways to show you. The reason why is because I live, breathe, eat this stuff. Would you guys agree it's a full-time doctor knows more than a part-time doctor? Because they're living, breathing, eating, seminars, books, all that. And that's why they get paid more money, because they put more time into building themselves up to learning more, because people like you guys will pay for it. So I'm teaching you guys how to fish. Put your net out, and you get the fish, and you can take that fish and sell it to the farmer's market. Make sense? So My Jewelers Club. And by the way, what I'm also going to do for you guys is those are the guys that invested, because I like to give you more than what you paid for. You guys already got some books and CDs and DVDs. You got My Jewelers Club. I'm going to give each one of you guys a 30-minute free consultation. You got my number on the brochures. We're going to do a Zoom call. And I'm going to give you 8 other primary lines of credit that will prove. That will help you even make more money. I'll get you insights to the banks that you don't know about that will give you money you have no clue. Is that worth something? Okay. Yes. And anybody want to make 6 figures or multiple 6 figures, if not more, going 7 figures this year in the next 12 months? Kyle Salon? Right? We're taking this across the country. Does this make sense to you? Okay? So myjewelersclub.com. I just showed you where to go to get it. So if you guys say you have it already, maybe you guys, did anybody have My Jewelers Club before? Yeah. Couple people. Okay, couple people. But the rest of you guys didn't. So this pertains to the rest of you guys. Now you guys have a way, or if you weren't doing this before, now you have a way to make money from that knowledge. Right? You have a way to make money from that knowledge. Because the majority of people don't know about it. They don't know about it. Just telling you. You'd be surprised. Yeah, I can see it on YouTube. I can see it on Google. They don't know about it. Okay? So My Jewelers Club, 30-minute consultation. I'm going to give you more nuts and noodles to it. And those, I'm looking at each one of your face. By the way, they're all on camera, right? I'm trusting in your word. You're going to come to me at the end. Here's my debit card, okay? But what I just showed you right now, if you don't run with it, especially Christmas is coming up, New Year's resolution, people want to fix their credit, they want to get Christmas gifts. I'm just telling you, and I'm saying this in a nice way, not to be real mean, you guys are fools to not take it. I'm telling you, I just showed you live how people will give money. People are looking for people to lead them. They're looking for people who have knowledge to share with them. When I learned this, you know what it cost me to learn what you guys just learned today? And it was worth it, Kyle. I paid my friend of mine, Pascal, $2,000. I sat with him at PF Chang's. You ever have PF Chang's? You ever have the little rice things? Paid him $2,000 to teach me what I just taught you guys and more. And because I know it, it's made me multiple six figures. On $2,000, and you guys just invested $100. It's worth it. That's why I say your best investment is in yourself. Never be afraid to invest in yourself. Does that make sense? Yes. So with that, you guys excited?
Yes.
Okay. So that's it for me, right?
Yes.
You guys all got my books. You got my DVDs. Watch it. I got a YouTube channel. It's called Marlon1673. There's a lot of content that's going to be going on there in the next week. Do a lot of content on videos. But everything you're learning today from Kyle, I know we got Larry coming up. I can't wait to hear from Larry from Columbus, right? Some other Mayroons are going to be up here too. Whoever's going to be up here. Do not take the information lightly. Don't take it lightly. Take it serious and apply it. That's the only way it's going to work for you. Don't come back and say, oh, I need my $100 back. Why? Did you apply for, oh no, I haven't went to it yet. Well, you haven't even went to it yet. Did you share with anybody? No. Because it won't work if you don't go apply, and it won't work if you don't share with somebody. And that goes for anything. Is that true, Larry Mayroos? If you don't tell people you do insurance, if you don't tell people you sell houses, if you don't tell people what you do, if you don't market, you ain't making any money. If you don't go on the treadmill, you ain't losing the weight. If you don't eat refined food, you're going to continue to be fat. I'm just telling you. Is it okay if I be transparent with you?
Yes.
And bold? Because I think at most seminars, they don't. It works when you work it. It works when you work it. So with that, thank you guys so much for being here today.
Wasn't this guy so much fire?
Yes.
Did he add value, yes or no?
Yes.
Did he take you to the next level, yes or no?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are the kind of people that's partnering up with Exertis Financial Partners. A lot of you probably don't know, Marlon's been in this industry for 20 plus years, building teams, growing his personal, his business credit. But guess what? He is now part of Exertis Financial Partners, growing his organization. So watch out, because this year alone, 2020, he told me 1,000 people's done. 1,000 people's done because he knows so many people that are licensed, non-licensed. People are looking for more in today's date. Would you guys agree? A couple things I want to do before I bring up Mr. Larry Jerkins. I'm going to have Miss Lloyd to do that. Is for all our guests, because we have a lot of new faces here. Just know that you're in the right place at the right time, number one. Number two is we offer 60%. Other companies, I don't want to mention any companies. We believe all companies are good, but they're not great like Exertis. We start 60%. Others companies start, Miss Lloyda, 25%, 35%. Can any of you attest, yes or no?
Yes.
Absolutely. Also, other things that we'll talk about too is we have a company, we have Columbus Life. Columbus Life is our bread and butter. It's a company that we write for. We're, I believe, number one, number two in all of Columbus Life in the nation. That's truly incredible. But we also partner up with a company called Emeritus. For those people that are transitioning that have a license, we can get you a $2,000 a month stipend. Anybody like $2,000 a month stipend? Say yes.
Yes.
$2,000 a month stipend, ladies and gentlemen. Plus your medical, plus your vision, plus your dental. There's no excuse now. In the last 2 weeks alone, I brought on a new partner that brought on 25 new partners. Majority of them are licensed from 10, 15 states. I was just in Hawaii where we got 20 new partners and 20 new policies. I was just in Dallas exploding that market. Everywhere we go, you know how some people got the Midas touch, right? Everything you touch turns to gold. But some of us here have what we call the toilet touch. Everything you touch turns into what? Shit. Okay. How do you get the Midas touch? By being around the fire. Guys, I'm not playing around when I say we're going to put 100,000 people in here. My goal is 10 people in my organization to make 100 grand a month. How do you do that? Help 10 people make 10 grand a month. You make 100 grand a month. But if your goal is just to make 1,000 a month, then sell one policy. Okay? I've been in the industry too long, and I've known so many people that have just changed their financial future. I'm talking about legacy type of income. Okay? So with that being said, this is our new office in terms of, where's Mr. Mayroos? Raise your hand. Are you excited, sir, or no?
I'm on fire.
He's on fire.
Excited as hell.
This is Mayroos. Jericho will answer those questions after. This is Mr. Mayroos. This is his office right here. We're going to start utilizing this office, for weekly training, Saturday trainings. and so on and so forth. We have a lot of incredible people here. I know there's some leaders. Joanne, stand up. Marco, where's Marco? Marco, Joanne. These guys are running to regional director, national director. Give them a hand. These guys are going to regional director in the next 45 days in Napa. Guys, if you know the name of the game, we need butts in the seats in our Napa event. Yes, it's the wine capital of the world, Napa, California, right? 9, 10, 11, January 9, 10, 11. Book your flights, book your tickets, everything like that. But also, you'll get inspired by all the people that's coming. People are running for regional director, national director. I'm having a team from Hawaii coming. I'm having a team from Dallas coming, Florida coming, Kansas City coming. 10 plus states, trust me, in my organization alone, they're coming. And if you want to know the secret, thank you, Mr. Marco. If you want to know the secret in this business, the highest paid skill in this industry is what we call the art of promoting. Getting what? Butts in the seats. If we had 2 people here versus the amount of people we had here, it's more exciting, yes or no?
Yes.
But if we had 10 times the amount of people here, would it be 10 times more exciting, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Guys, there's many skills to learn in our business. We'll teach you after 10 years of being in this industry. But I'm telling you, the highest paid skill in this business is butts in the seats, okay? With that being said, I'm so excited. I have a flight to catch at 5 p.m. today, but we will be back here to really put more gas in this, what we call Project 1000. What is Project 1000, you say? We're turning this room into 1,000 partners in no time, okay? With that being said, Miss Loida, our Uber driver turned overriding income. Come over here and let's introduce Mr. Larry Jerkins. Thank you.
Well, thank you, everybody. Everybody's excited now?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm going to introduce a very special person and my most favorite person right now from Columbus Life. But before that, I'm going to have a minute of telling you a little bit something of my experience so that you will be able to understand why I personally am so passionate in doing this. It was, like I mentioned earlier, about a year ago when I joined in. A month after I joined in, I had a family that that I went to offer the product. This is the IUL that we kept hearing about today. Okay, and that family is my family friend, a very close friend of mine, and also I call them my family because I was the only one here from California when I moved to Las Vegas. Family of 4, the husband, the wife, the daughter, and their son. And so they all got approved for the medical exam, they all got their policies, each one of them, and I believe that was my first 30 days that I made about $10,000, most of them from that family. But just to tell you what happened, unfortunately, 5 months later, the husband who got approved for medical exam, that got his policy, he got diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. I was now in a position, I was never experienced that kind of feeling when I was there to collect the medical documents, you know, from their doctor. And here was in front of me some questions. What was he diagnosed with? Stage 4 pancreatic cancer, spread to the liver. Is he expected to die? Yes. When? 3 months.
Wow.
Guys, that's your personal friend, that's your family. I wish I was sitting that time. But to fast forward, 3 months later, unfortunately again, that person died. But the family got their money.
Wow.
All of that from Columbus Life.
Yes.
That lady was supposed to be here because she signed up, guys. And the last couple of months, I've been sending more applications to Columbus Life. Those are all her referrals.
Wow.
Because I've been telling her story. She is telling her story. She feels that Columbus Life is her hero. She was hoping she was here today. So to me, that is the importance of having insurance, of life insurance, caring for your family, and actually listening to some information. And for me personally, that is now my passion. I quit my Uber, I quit my other part-time job because this is not what I do, and I do plan to take off with Certus Financial Partners. Okay, with that being said, I would like to introduce the highlight of the day. The special guest, our special speaker, and he is graduate of Notre Dame He has been in the financial services industry for the last 40 years, been with Columbus Life for the last 8 years. Regional Vice President, Mr. Larry Jerkins.
Thank you. I gotta say, Malcolm hit a spot with me. My father passed away about 20 years ago, but he always used to say, "You'll never see a U-Haul behind a hearse." So that hit me a little bit.
I'll take that as a Malcolm X, Marlon.
Lloyd just gave you the why of what we do. We talk about making commissions, we talk about building teams, we talk about going on trips, we talk about all this stuff, but at the end of the day, that's what we do. We're about saving families. Kind of a funny story. I was asked to speak at a Chamber of Commerce meeting, and they were about this size room, and I was the only insurance guy. So they asked me to speak, and I said, and I apologize, some of you have heard me tell this story before, because I like to tell stories. But I got up and I said, you know, if you're at a cocktail party and somebody asks you what you do, and you tell them I sell life insurance, you're going to be drinking alone. And we got the same reaction. But I said, but let me tell you something. And in this room, there were lawyers, bankers, accountants, real estate people, every walk of business except no insurance people. And I said, but let me tell you something. I can do something nobody in this room can do. And you see them there looking at me like, you know, who's this peddler or whatever, you know. But I said, I can show up at the worst time for a family, and I can bring them a check that the government can't touch, the tax man can't touch, the creditors can't touch, and nobody else in this room can do it, and I'm going to be there within a week. Wow. That was all I needed to say. Wow. Wow. That's what we do. That's why we do it. Everything else is bonus. So I'm going to here talk to you about what's the vehicle that we use to do that. And we're specifically going to talk about Columbus Life and our Index Universal Life. That's me. My wife is actually named Sandy, but that's not her. That's my internal. Just go over this a little bit, what we're going to talk about. We know why. I just told you why. But we're going to talk about why some of the things that we do are a little better. Back in 2018, some things happened. A couple of life insurance companies stopped selling life insurance. Now, what does that mean? Well, what usually happens is the state will guarantee, the individual states will guarantee those policies. But eventually, that in-force business gets sold. And usually the companies that buy business that has been sold because they stopped selling, what they typically do is they treat these customers like dirt. They look at it as pure profit. All they have to do is service it. And what we've seen over and over again is the companies buy this block of business, lower the interest rate that they're paying their customers to the guaranteed minimum, raise the expenses to the guaranteed maximum. Eventually the policies lapse. They made some nice money for doing nothing but treating their customers like shit. All I can tell you is we've been around 112, 113 years or something. We're not going to do that. By the way, that previous slide just mentioned mutuality. We're a mutual company. We're not a stock company. What does that mean? That means really the policyholders own us. We don't have to have somebody on Wall Street telling us how to run our business. It's a small thing, but it can be a big thing. Those of you who've been in, if you've been in insurance back in the early 2010s, Hartford, one of the biggest companies in the world, and I'm not picking on them, I guess I am. One of the biggest companies around, their largest stockholder was a hedge fund manager. So he had his Hartford stock in the hedge fund, and he owned about 25% of Hartford. He basically got them to sell all their life insurance and annuity business because it made a big profit for the hedge fund, and concentrate on property and casualty business, auto, home, etc. What does that mean? Well, all that means is he took a short-term gain for long-term guaranteed profit. Because an actuary is the guy who determines how long people live. An actuary could probably walk in this room and tell us who's going to die and when. Life insurance is consistently profitable long-term business. If you think about property and casualty, auto, home, etc., you got earthquakes. What do we have in California? We got fires like crazy, worse than ever. You got auto wrecks, you got tornadoes. Where I live in the Midwest, we got tornadoes like crazy. We had ice dams on the river the other day, in November. So all I'm saying is that this guy forced Hartford to sell their life business, a guaranteed profitability for this wildly fluctuating business, and that is not going to happen with Mother Columbus, because we don't have a stockholder who can tell us how to do business. It could be a little thing, it could be a big thing. We like to talk about this. 96, you see we're back to 96.
Yes.
S&P lowered us to 95 for about 6 months for some stupid reason. But you can't find a company that works with independent agents that has a higher rating than Columbus Life. What does that mean? Well, when you sell a life insurance policy or you sell an annuity to your customers, who may eventually be your partners, you're making them a promise. And again, I apologize, you guys have heard me talk about this before, but you're making a promise to your clients. And that promise does not come from some company in Ohio. To your customers, that promise is coming from you. And all I can tell you is, with these numbers here, in 100 and whatever years it is that we've been in business, we're going to be here to uphold your promise, to deliver your checks like Lloyd did. And let me tell you something, if you have not delivered a death claim check to a family, when you do, it's not just going to change that family's life, it's going to change your life. I've been in this business 40 years, so that means I started when I was like 3. Can you imagine that little guy?
Hey, that's my turn.
You know, the why and what we do, it will change your life. I've never had a widow in 40 years tell me, or a widower, tell me, oh, my husband had too much damn life insurance. That's never happened. But I have had too many widows or widowers tell me my spouse didn't have any, or didn't have enough. Talk about other people's money, that's life insurance. You pay a premium of $1,000 today, you might have a $100,000 death benefit to protect your family. That's other people's money. Otherwise, you could bank that $1,000 for 100 years, and then you'd have 100,000. You'd be self-insured. So it's other people's money, and we're going to be here. This one we like to show too. These are the companies we usually fight with in the independent agent world. This is the company, Voya, who stopped selling life insurance. They got millions of policyholders, and what's going to happen to them? We don't know. But I would say the outlook is probably not very good. So you can just see, we like to brag because we work hard to keep that kind of a score. We're going to talk about our products. We try to make them simple. There's a lot of companies in the Index Universal Life space that are really playing games with their illustrations these days. And as Kyle said, zero is your hero. Some of these companies are doing stuff, there's no longer a zero, it's negative. I'm not going to talk about that too much, and I'm not going to talk about those companies either, because I'll get really pissed off. Okay. Yes, why we do is to protect families. However, you got to get paid to do what you want, to do what you're doing. So we have the highest targets pretty much in the industry. Target, for those of you who are new or guests, target premium is what your commission is based upon. Ours are significantly higher than just about everybody. All that means is we're going to reward you for doing what you do. All companies pay excess commission on premium. So let's say if your client is putting in $125 a month. The target is $100, let's say. You're going to get your full commission on that $100. And you're going to get a little bit on the excess, that extra 25 bucks. Everybody does it. Everybody does renewals. That means when they pay in years 2, 3, 4, etc., you get a little bit more. So you get compensated for doing annual reviews with your clients, etc. But nobody, to my knowledge, pays trail compensation like we do in the industry. Trail compensation is based on the cash value in all your clients' policies. Your clients only. And we're going to pay you starting in year 2 forever on that. So you sell 1 policy a week. You sell 52 policies this year. Next year you're going to get some trail comp on that. In addition to the renewal, you're going to get trail comp on that, sell 52 more. Now after 2 years you're getting 104 policies trail. 3 years, 156. See what I mean? And that policy, we're going to pay you as long as that policy is in force. Now it's a small percentage, but the idea, you keep selling every year, adding to your pile. So we're going to treat you fairly, more fairly, I think, than anybody else does. For those of you who are new, we are at the cutting edge of industry, electronics, and technology. This is called the Click Mobile app. You can go, it's on your phone, you have to be contracted to have it, but you can go through all of your policies that are in underwriting, right on your phone, talk to the underwriter, answer questions, see where you're at, real time. I think it's an hour after you submit that they show up in what we call office safe. It's supposed to be an hour, but it depends on traffic really, but this is really cool. Now the IOE app, that's electronic application, about 65% now of our apps are electronic. And we just brought this out, well, right before you guys came on board in 2015, so that's huge. And you can deliver the policy electronically. So you can quote it. By the way, we'll be quoting IUL on the Click Mobile soon. You can quote it, you can write it, you can do the app on your phone. It's a little easier if you have a laptop or a tablet, obviously. But you can quote it, write it, submit it, track it through underwriting, deliver it electronically. And the whole purpose of this was to try to cut down the time from submission to commission, from when you submitted it to committed it. In the industry, the average is like 52 days from when you write a policy till you get paid. Now, a big part of that is us waiting for doctor's records on those cases where we need them for underwriting. Because the hospitals, the doctors, and the clinics are worse now than they ever were. And out here, Kaiser Permanente is the worst in the industry about getting what we call attending physician statements, APSs, back to the carrier. So we are taking some steps to try to get around that. But that 52 days is a long time. It's a long time for you, it's a long time for your clients. Sometimes they get cold feet.
Do you let an agent just go down and just pay the doctor and grab the records physically?
They can, but the doctors probably won't give them to you.
Most
They'll give them to an employee, but they probably won't give them to an independent agent. The client can get them.
And medical billing people, like some of those companies just got it online.
Yeah, most times they won't give them to an agent. And I would guess Kaiser would be the worst. So anyway, what we were trying to do is cut that 52 days in half. So delivering electronically immediately knocks 15 days off. If you do an electronic app, the IGOE app, that knocks 6-7 days off. So now we're down there. We're almost half. Okay, now here's the thing. If you deliver electronically, which I always encourage people to do because it gets it enforced, your client's covered. And what happens? If it was paid for by Wednesday, you get paid on Friday. Nice. Okay? But here's the key. Remember why we do what we do? Deliver it electronically, but print it out and go deliver it to your client. And sit down with them and reinforce what they've done. Because no matter what, it's still a one-to-one business. It's still personal. It's still eye-to-eye, face-to-face. deliver that policy in person. Yeah, you got to pay for the ink and the paper. Big deal. We're paying you, remember, forever. But it strengthens that bond between you and your client. So when that National Life agent comes over knocking on the door, he's got a reason to say no. No, I'm sticking with Columbus because Kyle delivered that policy yesterday. And he looked me in the eye and he said, remember why you're doing this. Because that's important. The why is what we do. So here's DocFast, and this number's higher. This is about 8 months old, really. But 73%, and it's higher now again, same day, delivered. Basically, you email the client the policy, and they e-sign it and send it back, send the signature page back. It's a beautiful thing, but print it out and deliver it. That's not Columbus Life Directive, that's just one of Larry's things. Okay, we got a cool regional vice, oh wait, that's me. If you haven't used our sales desk, and that's where Sandy Beheimer was, and my friend Eric, you guys who've been around, you know Eric, he's great. He runs the sales desk now. But I frequently have people tell me, you guys are the best sales desk in the industry, without me asking. So that's just a strong testimony. And you can go anywhere in the company from the sales desk. They'll take care, call the sales desk. You can talk to our underwriters directly, but go to the sales desk. We have 3 lawyers on staff if you have a complicated case, maybe with a trust, or maybe it's a divorce, second marriage, family, or something where you may have issues. You talk to our advanced markets lawyers directly. They'll help you design the case. And this one's key. A lot of companies won't let you do this, won't let you talk to the underwriters. We not only will let you, we want you to do it. You call in and you're talking to Stacy Bakova and you say, yeah, Kyle, how are you doing? Yeah, you're in San Jose, aren't you? Yeah, okay, you know. And they know your business and they know you to get to build a little bit of trust. So if you give them an answer to a question, maybe they feel a little more comfortable with that it's accurate. You know, maybe we can save a step or two by them knowing you and vice versa. Again, this is a snapshot of our landing page. I don't know why it's in this, but just to show you. People like our website. I don't know if that's true. You would see that also on the website. That's me. Here's our advanced markets. Morgan Scott runs that. He's an attorney. We have 2 other attorneys on staff. Fully accessible. They sit right next to the sales desk, so they can like throw erasers at them. Hey, Morgan, phone call. Again, direct access to the underwriters. This is another snapshot of our website. We got some great stuff on there. We got the webinar schedule on there, and all of our webinars are archived, so you can study on your own time. Everything we've ever done is on there. And you'll notice this. You can go right here and click right there to get your anti-money laundering training. That is mandatory. Every 2 years you got to do it. And you wouldn't believe some of the stories of real money laundering in the business. I'm sure you hear them all the time. And it's sophisticated. And they like to use life insurance and annuities to do it. And Len, I think you know that too, right? In your business. Okay, we've been together with Exertis since day 1, 2015. I spend, 4 or 5 times a year I get to come to SoCal or DoCal or Vegas or something to see the game, but we've been together the whole time. And you really are changing the face of life insurance because of the way Exertis does business. There are a lot of companies out there, a lot of network marketing companies out there, financial services wise, they don't treat the agents anywhere near as good as Exertis. Again, this is 40 years, I'm telling you. It's not just the comp, it's also the training, it's also the equity ownership possibilities, it's also car allowance, it's also finding an opportunity, finding a way to get you maybe some money every month, or a car allowance, or health insurance. Can't be without health insurance, right? We used to sell a ton of health insurance back in the day, and people would always say, I want a 0 deductible. Like, you don't need the insurance company to pay your $30 copay. You need the insurance company to pay your $30,000 claim. But people would rather pay, you know, tons of money in monthly premium, whether they use it or not, just so they can say, well, I got a zero deduct. That doesn't make financial sense.
Do you do the HSAs?
We don't, but I was on the ground floor of that, absolutely. Again, we've been partnering with Exertis since the beginning, and it's a strong relationship. We bring guys into the home office. We even had some fun every once in a while. So Exertis does matter to us, and actually, we'll be writing a big check for that Napa thing too, I'm sure. I know we will because Alan already sent me the invoice. So one of the things we've been doing all year is just trying to be closer and closer. Columbus Life is like an old-fashioned type of company. We want to be friends with our agents. We want to feel like family. If you go to our home office, it's different than anywhere else. Any other insurance company. Again, I've been in 40 years. The first thing you do when you walk into our home office, if you've got scheduled meetings, you're going to meet with the CEO. Every other insurance company, if you even get to see him, it'll be at the end of the day, it'll say, nice to meet you, I hope you had a good time, and he's gone, you know? With Columbus Life, you come in, you sit down with JJ for 45 minutes, and he might not ever even talk about insurance. He just wants to get to know you.
Take selfies with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's great in a bar. Hey, quick story about our CEO. We're at a conference, and standing at the bar, 6 or 7 agents and I, and JJ comes up to the bartender and he says, hey, buy these guys another round. I said, man, I just got him around. He goes, listen to me, son. He goes, in 45 years, I never fired anybody for being drunk. I said, well, that's good for my prospects. Anyway, so we are partners with Columbus. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly because we want to settle on the IUL, but this is our product portfolio. Now, there are some people out there who don't like to sell term insurance because some people say it's like wetting the bed. Takes care of the problem for now, but you got to do something about it sooner or later. I'm not one of those guys who says that, by the way. But somebody asked, my neighbor asked me, what's a perfect life insurance policy? I said, you tell me. He said, well, if it's term, is that the lowest premium? Yeah, maybe. What's the other kind, he said? I said, permanent. He goes, well, would that be the most cash in a policy? Maybe. I think the perfect life insurance policy is one that's enforced when we're closing the lid on the casket.
Yes.
So there's nothing wrong with term insurance.
Yeah.
The bottom line is get your clients covered.
That's right.
Because it's OPM, it's other people's money. Particularly with term insurance, it's almost all the other person's money because it's so inexpensive. What we do here, 10, 15, 20, and 30 year on term, I'm going to show you a little trick too. Now this is important. A lot of companies that sell a lot of term insurance, if you want to convert that policy into a permanent policy, they're going to put you into a substandard type of policy. Something you would never buy on your own unless you had to convert. Why do people convert term insurance?
Well, they're sick.
Basically, it's because they're sick. Either that, or they do have a longer term perspective. They can afford permanent. But typically, somebody buys a 10-year term. 8 years in, they get pancreatic cancer. Man, what if I outlive my life insurance? So they'll convert it.
A lot of companies do the exchange date when you've been in the policy 3 years, and the conversion date years and years later.
Yeah.
You miss your exchange date, you go automatically to the worst rates.
Right, yeah, and we don't do that. You get the same rating you had, you can convert to anything we're selling, and you can go up to age 70. It could mean nothing, but it could mean everything.
Right.
It really could.
Right.
We have the living benefits on our term. Not many companies do. No A+ rated company has living benefits and full convertibility on their term. Same triggers as we have on our permanent plans. Chronic, terminal, and specified medical conditions.
And you don't have to add that as a writer?
Pardon me?
You don't have to add that as a writer?
No. You don't even have to click a button. See, it's built in. Yeah, Clara.
Larry and the API.
I mean, yes, Santa Clara.
On the ABR that you just said.
It's different in California.
Right, I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
So in Nevada, is
It's full in Nevada.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
And someday it'll be approved in California.
I know.
We've only had it filed for 4 years. You know, I bet you could go to the Department of Insurance in California and throw a grenade in there and you wouldn't hurt anybody. Because there ain't nobody there.
Yeah, right.
You know? The Voyager is typically what people will call, hey!
There he is.
Typically what people will call permanent term insurance. Because it doesn't really build up much cash value. But you can guarantee it to age 90, 95, or 120. If you buy the lifetime, which is what we consider 120, premiums stop at 100. Mr. Hollywood, we didn't know you were coming.
Surprise.
Yeah, no kidding. Let's say your client they bought the age 90 Voyager, and now they're 84, and they're running marathons, and they're thinking, man, that 90's coming up soon. You can always stretch it out to 95, and actually, the pricing target sweet spot is 95 on the Voyager. But you can convert it, you prepay it, catch up the premiums to go to 95.
Is that commissionable if the agents do the upgrade?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Let me show you this. Not too many companies are doing this. Expanded standard program, we call it the table shave. If one of your clients gets medically rated below standard, table A, B, or C, we'll automatically move them to standard. You'd save your client lots and lots of money. This is not available on term, so I'm going to show you what you can do. And we just did one of these the other day. Exact same scenario, different ages. Okay, this guy's 64, he wants $150,000 in coverage. He's got some health conditions, comes back table C. Well, what's that premium? $56.80. Okay, so he's 64, he's buying 20-year term, right?
Right.
For $56.80 because he's table C. We switch him to age 90 Voyager. Now he's got 26-year term and save $1,600 a year because we moved him to the permanent plan. You can do this on your phone. You can tell the underwriter, all right, table C, let's move him to Voyager. We just did one the other day. It was a bigger number too. Or you can go to Lifetime, you're still saving them $900 a year.
Right.
That's a great solution. And you don't have to do anything but let the underwriter know we're switching to Voyager. There'll be an amendment you'd have to sign on delivery, but one signature. I mean, look what you did for this client. You gave him 56-year term and saved him $900 a year in the process. I mean, that's a great deal. All right, let's talk about IUL and the Life Plus. All right, right now, our cap, we have 4 different accounts. I'm going to go through them. The annual point-to-point cap is 12%. Highest in the industry, as far as I know. We check it every week. Our fixed rate, well, I'll cover this. Hang on. Well, one more thing. What we're doing, remember, zero is your hero. Upside potential, downside protection. So if the market goes down 20%, you get 0. If you're in a leveraged IUL, and I know we were talking a lot of leverage earlier, but this is different. These leveraged IULs are companies are putting in what they call multipliers, which makes the illustration look a lot better. But if the market is flat or negative, you're still getting charged for those multipliers. So no longer is 0 your hero. And some of them are as high as 7.5%. In addition to the cost of insurance and the fees. So let's just go through this. What are you going to do? You got everybody's in the markets, typically the S&P. Depends on where you put your money. Cap and participation rates are almost always 100% participation rate. We have guaranteed bonuses, but we don't do multipliers, and our expenses are low. And I'm going to show you. This is very similar to what Kyle was showing. This is a look back, 25 years of the S&P, 10 grand, What's the difference between 11, 11.5, and 12%? Well, in 8 years, 9 years, it's, you know, $800-900. We go out 25 years, that 10,000 has grown 8,000 more if you just got 1% a year more.
Wow.
That's basic S&P. There's no fees or anything. It's not an IUL. But that's the concept. By the way, IUL is a concept sale. You can get bogged down in how these things are built. And if you start telling your clients how an IUL is built, they'll start. And there goes your sale. Okay, now, here's, we're going to say the cap and participation rates in the market is 6. We have an account nobody else has in the industry. It's called a spread account. There are a couple other spread accounts in the industry, but none of them work like ours. We give the client the first 5%. Right now we take 6, that's our spread. Everything above that is uncapped. This is for those of you, you want to hit a home run in this account. Okay? We give the client 5, we take 6, then it's uncapped. All the other spread accounts take their spread first. So if the account does 3 or 4, your client gets nothing. With us, they get 3 or 4.
That's right.
A lot of companies have non-guaranteed bonuses. Ours are guaranteed, starts in year 11, it's 0.5% every year, it's guaranteed. Some companies only give you the bonus if the market was up in that particular year. I might have a slide on that. Yeah. Ours is guaranteed. Some are not, and I've got another slide. Here it is. Now, not knocking Allianz and Midland because they're good companies, more or less. Oh, just kidding. But they only, if you happen to be one of those years where the market's down, guess what? You don't get the bonus and you don't get it for the rest of the contract. Ours is guaranteed. So is LSW. Minnesota, PAC, and Aneco, well, maybe we'll pay it. You know, we'll see how business is in 11 years. Okay, our fixed account, the highest in the industry, 4.4%. That's a good rate right now anywhere. Better than the banks. Capped annual point to point is 12%. So if it does 15, your client gets 12. If it does 10, your client gets 12. No, your client gets 10. I was looking at the guy going, are you going to say anything? Okay, the spread account, again, we take 5, client gets 5, we take 6, uncapped. And then the uncapped monthly is one of the ones that's really difficult to figure out and explain. But what we see a lot of people do when they're allocating money into these IULs, and this is not company philosophy, just what we see a lot, is clients will maybe put 4.4, put maybe 10% into that 4.4 fixed rate to cover the cost of insurance and expenses in a case of a 0 year. So you don't have a negative. Then we might see 50 or 60 or 70% in the spread account looking for those big years, trying to hit a home run. And then put the rest in the capped annual. Remember, it's 12, right? Here, from 5 to 11, the client gets nothing. So if you put some of their money in here, you're going to fill in that gap. So it's a nice story to tell. Again, it's not company philosophy, it's just Larry telling a story. And what we see a lot of, what they see a lot at the sales desk, the stuff coming in. But you work that with your clients, and you can change it obviously anytime. This is the spread account. Here's how it works. So how much is the client going to get? This is in the spread account. Went up 28%. Remember, we took 6. That was our spread. So they get 22. If it does 50, they get 44. If it does 5, they get 5. These are the latest. As far as I know, these are accurate.
Wow.
I know that FlexLife just went down the other day. So I think this is accurate. We spend a lot of money keeping those up. Accelerated underwriting. This is one of the things we were talking about, waiting for APSs. Attending physician statements from the clinics, hospitals, doctors. This is one of our ways around it, but this is a work in progress. We just increased this to $1 million, by the way, in case you didn't know that.
Wow.
And I know some of you have had accelerated underwriting cases. You get an offer like in 2 days. No exam, no APSs, no nothing. But it's big data. And the industry is doing this. We're not the only ones. And because it's life insurance, we probably aren't going to know if it works for 20 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a way, because it's all about life expectancy for life insurance. But, you know, they throw all this stuff in and it spits out a score. If the score is above a certain number, no exam, no nothing. So when you write the case, don't order the exam same day, because it might get through accelerated underwriting. Right now, only about 35% of our cases are doing accelerated, so the odds are you're going to have to order the exam. But there's a chance you won't, so don't order the exam. Because if you order the exam and they qualify for accelerated underwriting, we get the exam, we have to look at it. You can't not look at it.
And this is AI, right? Artificial intelligence underwriting?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
And if it spits it out, can we give it to a real underwriter to look at it, or that's it?
If it's
It spits it out like,
too low of a score,
yeah,
oh, it's going to go to an underwriter immediately.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's not a decline.
okay.
Yeah, it's going to go to an underwriter. And then they want the exam. You'll get an email and say, please order the exam. You didn't qualify through third-party analytical score. But this is big data. I mean, it's bankruptcies, it's credit. Like you were talking earlier, yes, we're looking at credit, not just for the agents, we're looking at for the clients too. But MVR, you know, obviously criminal history, and obviously health history, and the pharmacies. Okay, this is my cool part here. Okay, we're the, 146 life products, 140 annual point-to-point with 100% participation, 27 run cap. One has gains from the first dollar. It's the boat.
The boat.
For those of you who've been to the home office, you've seen the boat.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Okay, we'll talk about our living benefits. We like the way we do it better than anybody else. I'm going to show you why. It's a lean method, but it is, you know, and your clients know, always how much is available. I'm going to show you an illustration. You always know, so from a planning perspective, if the client goes on claim for living benefits, you know how much is available for that trigger and how much life insurance is remaining. We guarantee the policy won't lapse if they go on claim. Many other carriers, including some you know, don't have any life insurance left once they go on claim. So again, 3 triggers. Yeah.
Mr. Larry, if you could take 15 seconds, because this is valuable information for everybody. We have lean method strategy, and there's discounted method strategy, in which most people think all IULs are created equal. Can you spend 15 seconds or less talking about discounted, which most companies
do discounted death benefit. Basically what they do is they underwrite you at claim time. How long you're going to live. And then they'll decide how much they're going to give you. So from a planning perspective, it's very difficult. You don't know until a claim time. With us, you know from day one. So it's much more client-friendly, in my humble opinion.
It actually includes also with other fees involved after the process. And then you just have to go by with their doctor other than your personal doctor.
Correct.
That's very important. That is a fact.
Correct, absolutely. Kyle talked about this too. There's a pretty good chance, if you get to be my age and you read the paper at all, there's a pretty good chance either me or my wife's going to need some kind of care in the future. And I love my wife, but I can't imagine her being my caregiver. That was just a little personal aside. But this is stuff this is common knowledge, but it's stuff you need to have at the tip of your tongue when you're talking to your clients. That's one of those things people like to put the blinders on. Well, it won't happen to me. Well, the odds are pretty good. It just might. You've seen those numbers before, 6 and 10, 4 and 10, have 2.
Wow.
I have a friend who's currently going through Lou Gehrig's. And it's bad. This is how we do it. Okay, you can take a lump sum with us, or you can take a periodic payout. Most companies will give you one or the other. We'll give you either. This is real simple. What's the net amount at risk? Anybody tell me? In a life insurance policy?
Premiums you paid versus the death benefit, net amount of risk.
Cash value versus the death benefit. The difference between cash value and death benefit is the net amount of risk. So we're going to give you cash surrender value. It's your money, right? You own it, plus 40% of the net amount of risk. Basically, it ends up being about 40% no matter what you do. And up to $250,000. We'll probably be raising this in 2020 to $500,000.
Wow.
That's what I'm hearing. You can get up to $1 million if you go periodic, but you got to go between 3 and 10 years. And this formula is in the illustration. It's in the contract. You and the client always know how much is available. Now, this is a company you know, and this is how they explain what they're going to give you in the discounted death benefit. I don't know about you guys, but I can't read that. And then here's how they explain it. This is directly with what they filed with the insurance company. This is a typical discounted death benefit explanation. I mean, look at that. So you never know till they tell you how much they're going to give you. With us, you know from day one. Here's another company you know. This is what happens with the discounted death benefit.
Wow.
Right here. What about the family? They already went through the tragedy of the claim, and then the death, and then there's no money left. We guarantee there'll at least be enough to put you in the ground, if nothing else. That's in the contract. We like to check all the boxes. This is what I was talking about earlier. Uncapped gains from the first dollar, 12 and 4. Guaranteed bonuses. Premium load, 6% or less. And predictable living benefits. Not only predictable, you know it. This is a page from our illustration software. Most IULs are built with the idea of putting as much money in as you can for as little insurance as for that amount of money legally, and then taking the maximum cash flow. So this is how you would do it. You're going to solve for the cash flow, minimum death benefit, and you're going to input the premium. And you can do it so it doesn't become a modified endowment contract. There's nothing wrong with a modified endowment contract. They call them MECs. All that means is that if you take money out, it's taxable first. So if the goal is cash flow, max cash flow, then you don't want a MEC. Right? Because you want that money to come out tax-free. So you'll see right here, the MEC limit is $11,004. So we're right up against it, but it's not a MEC. So that's the funding years, and then we're going to start taking out 41 grand a year. Putting in 11 a year for 20 years, taking out 41 grand a year for 20 years. Again, this is an illustration. We all know illustrations are, by their very nature, not accurate. In-force illustrations, 100% accurate. Guaranteed illustrations, like on the Voyager, guaranteed, 100% accurate. These, who knows? That's why you have annual meetings, annual reviews with your clients. Here's an example of the living benefits. And it's just like, everybody does this for chronic illness. 2 of 6, if you can't do 2 of 6 of the activities of daily living, you go on claim. Now there are some contracts out there that are called reimbursement contracts, which means you can only spend them for qualified medical treatment. none of those that we looked at before, but Lincoln has a big one called MoneyGuard. And yeah, it means you gotta collect receipts and send them in, and then you get paid. With us, we don't care what you use the money for. If you can't do 2 of 6 ADLs, we had a guy, I know some of you heard the story, we had a guy in Arizona, he actually was terminally ill, and he took like $55,000 out of his life policy to build a big jungle gym, swimming pool, and barbecue area in his backyard. And when the regional guy asked him why he did that, he said, so, well, I want to have the grandkids come over, you know, in my last year and spend some time with me, but what I really want to do is give the grandkids a reason to come see grandma after I'm gone. With a reimbursement contract, you couldn't do that. But again, now this is what the illustration looks like. Okay, now it's going to be hard for you to see in the back, but here's your cash surrender value, net amount of risk. Here's your death benefit. These two add up. Chronic illness periodic payment, chronic illness lump sum payment, and the remaining death benefit. And notice there's always remaining death benefit. Now it goes down, but it's never going to go below 10,000 by contract. On the illustration, some of you may not have done this, and it's not automatic yet. This stuff is automatic. All right, the illustration we just saw on the previous page, that's automatic. But there's a new, fairly new, we brought out last year called lifetime benefits. And it's a way to conceptually sell the whole thing instead of going through a 40-page illustration. So click that button until we make it automatic. And that should come out anytime. But it'll explain, you know, Swiss Army knife, got a lot of uses for life insurance. So we talked about death benefit, we talked about living benefits, we talked about tax-free income. Just on a one-pager. Then we got like this, and we're going to modify this to put in different ages for you. To make it easier. But this, guys are selling it right off of this page. And again, here's your Swiss Army knife, right? All the things you can use this for. We try to be the best product deliverer, to give you the best thing for your clients. That's what we're trying to do. And we want to we're going to change this to 2020 because Kyle already told us we're working on 2020, not 2019. So this next PowerPoint will have to go 2020. Maybe by Napa, that's right, we'll have it. And I'll be there to deliver it too. So as you guys know, we've been partnering with you for 5 years, almost completely. I want to get at least 5 more because then I can jet off into the sunset. So with that, here's the differentiators we think. We're going to pay you more, probably. We're going to try to get that thing issued as quickly as we can. We got table shave, we got accelerated underwriting, and of course, we've got the predictable living benefits. And that, my friends,
one more time for our VP, Mr. Larry Jerkins. Thank you. Thank you. You guys have another 2 hours? 5 minutes.
Your jaw just dropped.
I'm going to close
2
this
more
and close
hours.
strong. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank all the speakers that came before me, Mr. Marlon McKinney, Mr. Larry Jerkins, the testimonials, the people here. Give them a big round of applause. And I want to challenge all of you today. I'm 34 years of age. I got a really big goals for 2020 and beyond. And I want to challenge everybody. I'm looking at everybody right now. I'm looking at everybody right now. I'm looking at everybody to step up, to show up and show out. Because it's not for us, it's for you guys. I was talking to our chief marketing officer and I said, hey, CMO, how many policies do you think we did in about 3-4 years that we've been in business? He said about somewhere north of 15,000 policies, plus or minus. Some of you might think, wow, that's not enough. Some of you think, wow, that's a lot. Guys, do you understand the power of this distribution model? What do you mean, Kyle? Imagine some of these people dying, and they are. Let's just call it what it is. Taxes and debt, they have to pay. Yes or yes?
Yes.
Imagine these families are now protected because of Exertis Financial Partners. But also, understand this, guys. This is where the opportunity lies. Because we are problem solvers. We get paid to solve what? Problems, right? And the big money goes to the people who solve big problems. I want you to get that or write it down. Can you imagine in the future as Exertis grows that we do not only 15,000 policies in 4 years, what about 15,000 policies a month? I was talking to some people that I know in the industry. Yeah, we went from 0 to hero, nothing, 1 office to 112 offices, 15,000 policies in 5 years to 12 to 15,000 policies every single month. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about legacy. I'm talking about legacy type income. Raise your hand if you're in for that. Make some noise for that. Yeah. You guys see 30 people here, but you don't see the groundwork that Exertis Financial Partners is putting in place. But you will see it in Napa. You will see it. Because we have people coming in from 20 cities and states, 30 and 40. It's just a matter of time before we're in all 50 states. Okay? And I tell people this all the time. You can be a millionaire, no problem. We all can be millionaires if we're working at McDonald's, making $10 an hour. For 40 years, that's $1 million. How many do the math? I've seen this video. 40 years, making $10 an hour, we all can be a millionaire. But how old are we? I'm 34. I can't speak for you guys. I'm 34. This is called success compression. Let's say that together. Success compression. We're compressing 40 years in 4 years. Why do you think people like myself and our Executive Vice President T. Ortiz and our Chief Marketing Officer, Mr. Alan Lorenzo, and Mr. Frank Yim, and some of these leaders here, Marlon McKinney and Jimmy Zell, and all these leaders here that are coming on board, we're attracting the new wave of leadership because they believe in what we call success compression. I don't have 40 years. Neither do you. And we should all set a goal to become a millionaire. Not for the money. Let me say it again. Not for the money, but the person that it forces you to become. Write that down. Because if you get to the next level, guess what? Other people can get to your level. Does that make sense? That's why I told, hey, EVPT, let's go to the next level. Let's make $1 million this year. Why? Because it forces other people to get to that next level. Does that make sense, guys? That's why you all need to be in Napa, California. Why be in Napa, California? We had a small taste of Mr. Larry Jerkins. We're bringing all our carriers from the East Coast, West Coast to Napa, California. I call this what we call immersion training. 3 years of information in 3 days. People say, oh, what's the shortcut to success? The shortcut, this is the shortcut. 3 years and 3 days. How many of you guys can sign up for that? That's why we're singing the song in terms of getting everybody to Napa. Not only that, our Chief Marketing Officer has outdone himself again. Everybody say raise. 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 That's what we're doing here is we've increased our comp plan not once, not twice, but 4 or 5 times. I can tell Maruz right there is pacing because he's excited. Are you excited, Maruz? This guy's fired up, jacked up, and excited. I'm telling you, man. We're not playing with this thing. Come to Napa, get fed the information because we're all going to the next level. Can you imagine us now being the #1 comp plan in the industry? Give that a big round of applause. Oh, man. You see this $1 million briefcase? It is up for grabs. I'm serious. I could not sleep the last month or 2. Set a goal to become a millionaire. Because that means you help protect more families. That means you help these individuals, that and this person, this, make 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000. That's what my mentor told me. Set a goal to become a $100 million guy, or whatever your goal is. Because that means you've impacted more lives, especially with this product, okay? Why go to Napa also is we have a promotion, guys. I'll clear with our Chief Marketing Officer. If we get 5, can we do that? If you get 5 partners direct, your $250 ticket for 3 days in Napa, California, wine country is free. Everybody say free. Free. If it's free, it's for me, as they say, right? 5 directs. We're going to explode this business.
Wines are included?
Say it again?
Wines are included?
What? Oh, no. You have to talk to the guy behind you with the glasses. The guy with the glasses, he has the money, okay? Talk to him.
All right.
No, and all kidding aside, 5 people in your business get your $250 Napa ticket free. Also, we're running another promotion. If you get 3 policies, 6,000 points, there's a possibility that we can pay for your airfare and hotel. Okay? See your upline, or see your partner, leader, whatever you want to call it, for the details. We're trying to get as many people as there because we understand that the more butts in the seats, explosion the first 90 days. Okay? And lastly, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say the time is here, the time is now. Show out for your family. For me personally, you know my story. Why I'm so motivated is I want to bring my wife home, and I'm a newly father next year. With you. So when you see me traveling the miles and going here and going there, that's my reason why. It's not the $1 million. I'll get the $1 million, no problem. I'm talking about $1 million a month, $1 million a week, and I've seen this for so long. But it's time for us to show up and show out for the next level. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kyle Salon. God bless you. We're here for you.